start stream your bum.
Chat. Hi, chat. What the hell happened here? What the fuck What? And where's my model? Where's my dang VTuber model?
What the fuck did you do?
I don't know. Where's my... What the hell? Where is everything? Where's my VTuber model? I don't understand. What? It's not even on screen. Where do I... How do I... What? What?
Ozzy, it's 2:11 a.m. for me. I will stay for a very short while before leaving, but did the meds arrive?
Dude, I actually have to talk about that. I have to actually legitimately talk about that because there is an update to that. There is an update to that story. But first, where's my fucking VTuber model? Where is it? I don't understand. Also, why is my table low-key too big? My table's too big. What the hell is going on? And why? What? I don't understand. I don't understand. Where's the model? Brother.
Chopped ass Latezi.
Oh my brother. Brother. I'm gonna crash out. Hold on. Hold on. Can I make this to shape? It's for some reason not in the right shape. Hold on.
9 p.m. stream Pupsy. I'm supposed to watch the Colombia game, not this.
Is Colombia playing right now? I didn't even know that. Whatever. So my model's not here. It's just nowhere. It's nowhere to be seen. I don't understand. It's not even on this screen. Why not? Why not? Where is it? Brother. What do I even do here? What is the next step? Okay, hold on. Okay, making a new source did not solve the problem. It's still gone. Oh, I know. I'm so fucking stupid, dude. It's not on VTube Studio. I have to load it on V... It's not OBS at all. It's not OBS at all. It's not OBS at all. It's VTube Studio. I just have to reload the model. I can't do this. I can't keep doing this. Well, hello, chat. Oh my brother. Okay. So it is late. How long have you been streaming?
Have you been streaming for?
Since the beginning of 2024. So more than 2 years.
Ozzy, leave the stream before the streaming leaves you.
I think it's already left my body. Bro, I was supposed to stream earlier today. Okay, so here's the plan. I was supposed to stream at 2 in the morning, okay? And then I accidentally streamed a little too long yesterday, so that plan went out the window, okay? So then I was supposed to stream, because I only had to work half a day today. I didn't have to stream I didn't have to work a full 8 hours. I only had to work 4 hours. So I was like, oh, I'll stream before, so after work, but before I have to go to my parents' house for a 4th of July party. Okay? And then I get off of work and it's already too late. It's already like 10:30 and I need to be at my parents' like party by 12 and it's an hour-long drive. And I was like, fuck, I can't do a 3-hour stream. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just do it after I come back. Not remembering that, like, low-key, I usually stay there all day, and 4th of July parties go till the end of, midnight. So I had to dip out of there and awkwardly explain that I have quote-unquote plans. And now I'm here. And I just got a VGen message. Would you look at that? Dude, the meds. Okay, chat. The meds. The meds. So, I got an update on the meds. I got a message today that said, my meds are ready. Okay? This is big. Until I looked at the pharmacy.
Just tell your parents we are more important than they are.
So real. I looked at the pharmacy's opening hours. They aren't even fucking open today or tomorrow.
The Mets, baby.
For the 4th of July.
It's all about.
They're not open. So they waited until the day that they were closed to finally make my meds. So now I can't pick them up, but they're ready. Bro, I think they genuinely hate me. I think they actually hate me and they have it out for me. By the way, I was running late to getting back. I was supposed to be here like 20 minutes earlier than starting right now. I ended up leaving 20 minutes late, and not only that, but there was a train. On my way here, I got stopped by a train, so I made a U-turn and I stopped at a gas station nearby and I got food. So now I have food here. Yummy. Now I have gas station food. Yeah, let's go. I also have a Monster Energy because this is gonna be a late stream, bro. It's gonna be a late fucking stream, so no matter what we do, I'm gonna be tired. Your poor toilet? No. Ordinarily, gas station food is pretty bad. However, there's a gas station getting popular around where I am called Quick Trip, and they make real food. Like, I'm eating a normal hamburger right now. So, I'll be fine. I know Quick Trip. Quick Trip is actually low-key goated. It's super goated, bro. It really is. I gotta go to Flippity bed. Bye, Al. I was gonna ask a question. Wait, hold on. Where? How would I get you to react to a picture meme directed towards you? Send it in memes, I think. And then just at me real quick. Yo, Goofy, thank you for the tier 1 at 4 months. Thank you. Peak. Hold on, I'm waiting for this meme image. Thank you, Goofy. I appreciate it. I don't want ads. I didn't even read that fully. Wait, in the meantime, I can look at that VGen message I got. Brother. Wait, this is peak. Hold on, let me move. This works. I like that. That's a good meme. That's a good meme. Also, why is the woman's weapon a pan? Wait, okay, hold on. This is a... Now, hold on. Interesting choice. Because most women hit man with pans. What? Hello? This is news to me. Why is it making me make a PayPal account? Why can't I just log in? Hi, Red Shadow. Welcome in. Welcome in. Is your 10 minutes up already? Damn, that was a fast 10 minutes. Have you not seen the TV shows? I think me and you are watching different TV shows, brother. We are watching some different TV shows. I like the picture of Ozzy I sent in the same place. Oh my god. You bastard. I see that. I see that. Okay. I think I got rid of all my VGen stuff. We're good. I think I've cleared all that. I accidentally made the mistake of not responding to a VGen proposal that they sent me a message last night at like 9:30 and I went to bed at midnight and I should have seen it before going to bed, but I didn't. Oh shit. I almost just knocked all the food off my table. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, what are we gonna do? Wait, hold on. Low-key, we could watch a video while I'm eating. That's probably the smartest thing. Let me pull up a video while I'm eating. Should I do a fucking react video? I don't know if I want to react to one of your guys' tickets right now while I'm eating, because I don't think I'll be able to. I don't think I'll be saying anything. I don't think I'll be able to say much because I'll be eating. So maybe I'll pull up. Hold on. Let's see what my YouTube homepage. What the hell?
Cleaning.
There's a Boy video that came out and it's an hour and a half long. Oh my god. Either that or we can watch the Danny Gonzalez video that came out 7 days ago. Bro, that's the longest Boy video I've ever seen. Can I sneak this boat through a military blockade? Brother. What? Listen, we might not be able to finish this video, but that sounds fucking interesting as hell. Dude, Boy always has bangers, bro, but this might be taking it a little too far. Huh? Okay, let's find out.
In the Caribbean recently, and I noticed something really strange happening. You see, these fishing boats, they just keep exploding. Look, you can see it here. If you look at the footage from the cameras of America's MQ-9 Reaper drones, you can see it right there. It's really weird. Like 200 fishermen have just spontaneously combusted so far.
Oh.
And what's even weirder is that the US Navy is here too, and they've been intercepting ships in the Caribbean that are trying to bring supplies to Cuba. So obviously, I was very confused. So I decided the best way to work out what was going on.
Mouth moving. Oh, chewing means your mouth is open? No. It just means that it's tracking my chin and assuming that it's open. See, like here, I'll show you. Well, I can't show you because I don't want to turn my camera on. But I could give you a mouth sound that, like, so if I close my mouth, I go, but yet I can still open my mouth. Like my V2 remote still thinks my mouth is open. Type shit.
is to, you know, get on a fishing boat and try to bring 30 tons of humanitarian aid to Cuba.
Evacuate your engine room immediately.
Dear God. They fucking nuked like a small little fucking canoe? What the hell?
One shot blew up the engine room. The ship stopped.
What? They're like a little tiny boat. Why the fuck are they sending millions of dollars worth of fucking missiles at it? What the fuck? Why?
Profitable business. Who would have thought we were doing that? We're like pirates. We're sort of like pirates.
Everyone started laughing? Yeah, we bombed a bunch of fucking boats, bro. And then everyone starts
you're probably
laughing.
thinking two things right now, right? Number one is that I'm obviously back at home, you know, filming the intro segment to this video, so I guess I didn't die or I didn't go to prison, but you
Ozzy,
actually
I
have
see
no
the
idea.
ASMR on the side.
I can't block it. I can't block it.
Where I'm
It's
filming
alright.
this video from, do you? Like I could be doing it from a CIA black site, or maybe I'm filming it from hell, right? Maybe I'm dead, right? You
True.
actually have no idea what happens to me in this video. And the second thing you're thinking is, why does the US have a naval blockade of Cuba, and why are they blowing up all these
I'm actually thinking, why is he green screened into a blank room?
boats? Well, to find out, we need to know what's going on between the US and Cuba and how it all started. So for about 4,000 years, Cuba was home to 2 million people. Then the Europeans came in 1535, and through a very delicate balance of slavery
Classic Europeans.
and brand new cutting-edge diseases like smallpox, in just 30 years, the indigenous populations were declared completely extinct. At that point, the Europeans had the same feeling that I had when I ate an entire jar of pickles at 2 a.m. and then didn't have the ingredients left for my sandwich the next day. Without the indigenous slaves, the Europeans would have to do all the work. And they didn't come all the way from Europe to just like pick sugarcane forever, so they imported a brand new kind of slave from a different continent to, you know, replace all the ones that they killed. And
Bruh.
they actually kind of look like this, because they look quite different, these ones. Let's see. Asian.
What?
Asian. Yeah, so the new ones look like this, which is
Brother,
it's pretty good.
why?
Anyway, the Europeans fixed that extinction problem, and the system worked pretty well for them for another 300 years, until the Cubans got sick of being slaves on plantations, and I guess the Spanish got bed sores or something.
This is usually how every single Boy Boy video starts. He gives you like a small history lesson and then gets into the part of the video of why he's doing what he's doing in like current world events or something like that.
on piles of bones all
But
day.
he makes it kind of interesting a lot.
So the US actually stepped in and helped kick out the Spanish. But the main thing the Cubans got out of it was replacing a handful of Spanish plantation owners with a handful of Cuban and American plantation owners.
Oh, hey, it's
and
Jeff
all their
Bezos.
profits went to US companies instead of the King of Spain. And this system continued for the next 60 years, right? The Cuban countryside was a giant US sugarcane plantation.
True.
American companies controlled about 70%
I do remember that.
of the land, and the remainder of it was owned by just the 0.5% of rich Cubans. Illiteracy and malnutrition was through the roof, but in the cities, they had so much disposable food that they started using their spare grapes and bananas to make hats. And you can see them here dancing with these stupid hats for a bunch of guys with equally stupid names like Lucky, the Bug, Joe Bananas.
What?
Not to be confused with Joe Diamonds, Joe Batters, Joe Fish, and Fat Joe, who were also there. Along with a guy called the Little Man and another guy also called the Little Man. You see, Havana, the capital of Cuba, was known as the Las Vegas of Latin America. And not just because it was the mecca for gambling and prostitution, but because it was run entirely by the US Mafia. Here's mob kingpin Maya
That would do
Little Man
it.
Lansky
Oh,
hanging
I
out in
remember
Havana
doing
with
this.
What? What? Which part? Which part, bro?
US-backed Cuban dictator Fulgencio Batista. They're getting along really well because Batista let the mob buy up every hotel and casino in the city and pass laws that facilitated their money laundering and their narcotics and human trafficking. And, you know, the mob loved him. I mean, not enough to give him a stupid nickname like Bobby Gabagool,
Just
but
watch
still,
the video. I'll show up eventually.
Oh, okay.
they made a crazy amount of money together. And any Cuban who got in the way of this racket was executed by the dictator's secret police. Or, if you're lucky, like Fidel Castro over here, they'll just torture you and then exile you to Mexico.
If you're lucky, they'll just torture you. Oh, okay.
Now, at the time, Batista
W
didn't
script?
realize that this was the biggest fumble in history because Castro was about to grow a beard. And with a group of 82...
Oh, I know this guy. Wait, okay. Loki, I know the history behind this guy. I've heard the history behind this guy.
Get to about September of 2001. That's when you'll see.
I don't think that comes into play. He's talking about Cuba right now. I remember hearing about the history behind this guy. He really likes ice cream, if I remember correctly.
Bearded Cubans and a bunch of guns. He decided to sail back to Cuba from Mexico in a tiny 12-person boat that was called Granma. Which, I mean, look, I don't get it either, but they wanted to liberate Cuba from this corrupt dictatorship. Unfortunately, they were immediately ambushed by Batista's army, and only 12 of them survived the landing, and then they fled to the mountains. Now, in any normal situation, this would be the end of the revolution, but the interesting thing about Batista is that literally every single person hated him. So for the next 3 years, these 12 bearded men became thousands of bearded men, and women too. And by 1959, they had defeated Batista, who, fled the country with $424 million he embezzled from his corrupt dictatorship.
Yeah.
Fidel Castro became the leader.
The only problem is because Cuba makes us so much money, bro, it doesn't matter.
This new Cuban government. And
if we still make money off of Cuba having a dictatorship, then we're going to put one back in.
Got to work immediately. They skyrocketed to 7th in the world in literacy rates, eliminated poverty, brought electricity.
Damn, wait, okay, hold on, he brought it back.
Established a system of free, universal healthcare, achieving lower infant mortality than the US and more doctors per capita than any country in the world.
Dang, he brought it back.
I mean, you have 9/11 first responders traveling to Cuba so they can get treatments they can't access in the US.
This one test that they recommended I take is about $5,000 to $7,000. I have no medical coverage, so I can't go for the last part of the test.
No se preocupe que todo eso va a ser estudiado.
But that's actually someone else's documentary, and you're watching my one right now, so just don't...
Yeah, my bad.
Now, in order to do all this cool stuff, the new Cuban government had to make a lot of enemies, right? So a big part of eliminating poverty is getting rid of Cuba's colonial plantation system, which means taking the land back from the 0.5% of the population that owned it and distributing it to the farmers who actually worked.
Dude, most of his background shots, I don't know where the fuck he gets these. Does he just look up 1980s Cuban videos? I don't know.
Lived on the land. Now, the Cuban government actually wanted to do it all by the book.
Bro, why does he keep bringing this up? Why does he keep showing that?
Just take the land. They offered to buy the land off the, handful of plantation owners. But like every multinational business from Apple to Amazon to Google, they paid zero tax by cooking the books. They shift their profits around so they could claim they were running at a loss. And because the new government was doing it by the book, which was cool,
brother,
they offered these businesses the amount of money that the businesses themselves had reported for the past decade. Now, every country that owned Cuban businesses, from England to Spain to Switzerland, they accepted that they had a good run doing slave labor and lying about their profits, and the jig was up. And they took the money that was offered and signed the companies over to the new Cuban government. Well, no, every single country except for the US did that. So all these Cuban plantation owners and oligarchs moved to the US, expecting that Uncle Sam would quickly invade. And
you know what I just realized? This video is an hour and a half long, and in 3 days already has 1.3 million views. Holy bro, made bank off this video. I mean, he makes bank on a lot of his videos because most of his videos are bangers. So they obviously get views, but this one's kind of crazy.
They get this.
This is his longest video that I've ever seen by a long shot. Hold on, let me see the other ones. I don't think any of his videos come close to that length. Yeah, we have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 37, 27, 28, 22, 20. He has crazy thumbnails, by the way. 25, 24, 30, 40, 31. Don't worry about the thumbnails, okay?
He's back. So the CIA, the mafia, and Cuban exiles...
So this is a new thing for him.
They invaded Cuba.
He obviously had a lot of history to talk about.
And then they did chemical warfare. Then they tried 573 different Looney Tunes-style assassination attempts on Castro. They literally tried to make him smoke an exploding cigar at one point. But, they never managed to kill the Cuban president.
What?
I'm not saying that the dream team of Miami Cubans, the mafia, and the CIA are a group of bumbling idiots who can't get anything done, right? They did manage to kill the American president on their first try, which is very impressive, right? But that's a whole other story. The point is, the Cuban plantation owners never gave up. They just kept going. They did heaps of cool action movie style terrorist attacks against Cuba over the decades. They'd bomb passenger planes, they'd shoot bazookas at public theaters. They killed a bunch of people. They were busy guys. But unfortunately, after 70 years of living in Miami, like anyone who lives there, their brains had completely melted, and they just don't have the same mojo anymore. All they can do these days is, get on their knees and beg Trump to bomb them next after he's done with Iran, and when they're not doing that, they make the worst AI-generated reggaeton videos in the world. Hallucinating about a utopian US-controlled Cuba where they finally get their slaves back, and Havana has a McDonald's and a Walmart and a CBS, but But somehow in their vision, the CBS isn't surrounded by fentanyl addicts like you usually get at a CBS in the USA. But whatever, you know, it's really inspiring stuff.
Dude, the
but
amount of
unfortunately,
hits he takes just in like casual talking is crazy.
good as their AI videos are, the Cuban government is still in charge. But there is one thing that the US did that has drastically affected Cuba, right? And it's spelled out in this declassified government memorandum from 1960, which was only a few months after the Cuban Revolution. You see, the US knew that Castro was incredibly popular, so the only way they could actually get rid of him is to completely block the country off from the outside world, bringing about hunger, desperation, and eventually the overthrow of the government. So they introduced an embargo, which the US government called the most comprehensive set of economic sanctions that any country has ever had. Now, up until this point,
dude.
the US controlled Cuba for 50 years, so they were obviously Cuba's biggest trading partner. But the issue isn't that suddenly US companies were banned from trading with Cuba. It's actually much, much bigger than that. See, any country or company anywhere in the world that does business with Cuba will also be sanctioned and blacklisted by the US.
Hey, we like to do that a lot. We like to block trade to a lot of people, and that's like our big card.
Let's say the CEO of a foreign company is completely insane and says, like, fuck it. Like, I really don't mind getting blacklisted and locked out of the global market. I just really, really want to sell this cancer medicine to Cuba for some reason. And even in that like super rare scenario, the US can still stop them. Since the US essentially runs the, global financial system and owns the global reserve currency, the bank that facilitates this transaction will be fined $619 million for doing it, which happened to ING in 2012. And if you can't tell by all the spelling mistakes in the company's name, it's a Dutch bank. It's got nothing to do with the US, but they can
Wait, he looked like he got scared by my ad. He looked like he got scared by my ad. That timing could not have been better. Holy shit.
will somehow be fined for dealing with Cuba. It's actually insane, right? They've made it nearly impossible for any country to buy or sell anything to Cuba, and nothing's off limits, right? Like in 2016, when the UN set up an international children's painting competition, and a 13-year-old Cuban boy with hemophilia won. And they had the award ceremony in Algiers, as you do, and the kid was meant to receive a Nikon camera as the grand prize.
Bruh.
But after pressure from the US, Nikon, a Japanese company, refused to hand over the digital camera, all because the kid who won was Cuban, and they didn't want to compromise their business with the US. It's actually nuts. Like, any country in the world would have an immediate humanitarian crisis if it was locked out of all international trade like Cuba was. But in the words of former US President Jimmy Carter himself, the only reason the sanctions haven't created a humanitarian catastrophe in Cuba is because the Cuban government has somehow maintained one of the best healthcare systems in the world.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Being blocked out from literally everything in the world and you're still goated, it's crazy.
Being able to trade with anyone, the Cubans have managed to use the very little resources that they have and make it go a really, really long way. The healthcare system isn't just surviving under 70 years of the biggest economic blockade on Earth, but they're still doing international aid. Like a tiny country that can't trade with anyone sends more doctors to the third world than the world's 8 richest countries combined. They cured blindness for 4 million people around the world for free, and even in the more extreme cases like Haiti, Cuban doctors make up 75% of all healthcare in the country. I mean, without Cuban doctors, there would basically be no doctors left in Haiti. It's crazy. Somehow the Cubans managed to do all this impossible stuff for almost 70 years, but that brings us to the year of the fire horse, 2026. Now, one of the only countries that's ever been brave enough to, sell oil to Cuba has been Venezuela, because, they're already sanctioned to shit, so, what more could the US government do?
I see. I see the problem.
Well, it turns out the US government can actually do a lot more, right? Especially now the government's been, supercharged with the insatiable aura of the pedophile. In January, in the middle of the night, the US military flew in, bombed the country.
Okay, so he couldn't control Cuba, so you simply just get rid of their gas? I didn't know that could also be a version
a bunch of people
of what they were doing.
The president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. And they've been holding him in US prison for the past 6 months, claiming he's a drug trafficker, which is weird because, the brother of the US Secretary of State is an actual drug trafficker, and just a month before that, Trump pardoned the president of Honduras, who actually trafficked hundreds of tons of cocaine into the United States. But whatever, look, what I'm trying to say is that they're full of shit. Apart from the fact that Maduro somehow dresses exactly like my local drug dealer, there's actually zero evidence that he's involved in drug trafficking.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Maduro is also really, really bad. I think he is still a bad person, because I have friends that were from Venezuela that I work with, like coworkers that used to live there, but escaped to the America because of how bad Maduro made it there. So Maduro is obviously a bad guy, which is why a lot of people were celebrating when he got taken out. But The U.S. doesn't do things like that for fun.
But at the end of the
Or
day,
for free.
none of that really matters, right? Venezuela got the message loud and clear, and they stopped selling oil to Cuba. And just to make sure nothing else slips through, the US has sent its military out to intercept any other country that dares sell oil to Cuba.
See,
Even
this is the
civilian
kind of
boats are getting
silent shit that happens on the side, that like the side effects that I don't fucking hear anything about.
intercepted. I mean, look, the New York Times actually made a cute little animation of a civilian ship trying to buy and sell oil, getting ping-ponged by a wall of US ships intercepting it in the Caribbean. But this guy's one of the lucky boats. I mean, since December, the US has killed over 200 people by drone striking random ships in the Caribbean, turning the sea into a no-go zone for pretty much
How
anyone.
the fuck do you even find that? That's just public. There's just public videos of that shit.
Now, the US claims they're killing drug traffickers, which is kind of funny because in the United States, the punishment for dealing drugs is not execution. And so it's illegal anyway, but it's also
fair.
super convenient because they've simultaneously blown up all the evidence of the supposed drug trafficking. And it's extra.
Oh, that's a good point. There's not really much left to double check if you were right. Oh, dog.
Weird considering that the families of the victims are suing the US, showing that their dead husbands, brothers, and sons are just fishermen. And look, I don't know who to believe, right? Obviously, both these claims are equally credible, but that's beside the point, right? What I'm trying to say is the Caribbean Sea is now a no man's land, right? And Cuba hasn't had any fuel for 8 months. They're going through constant blackouts, the garbage trucks, the hospitals, everything's down. It's absolutely horrifying. So as a YouTuber who like cares about this stuff, my first thought was, how can I make this about me? So I teamed up with Progressive International, and together we're going to get some boats and fill them with food and medicine and see if we can get through this military blockade. Alex and I have done so much dangerous stuff in the past, and I was so excited for the next adventure, but Alex was actually too scared to do this one, right?
Yeah, no fucking shit, bro.
You know, I don't really care, right? My best friend doesn't want to hang out with me. It's not like a big
Bruh, the guilt trip.
deal. I got heaps of other friends actually. I got one other friend, Dan. Let me tell you, me and Dan, we go way back. We're like, talk about friends. He's probably my best friend ever.
Brother.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's always just been just me and Dan against the world, and no one else matters as far as
Does he know?
concerned. We go way back. You know those guys.
Who
that
is
go to
this
South
random
America?
guy?
You know the guys I'm talking about? They got disgusting hair, 100 armbands. They can't stop telling you about how their ayahuasca trip freed them from all their worldly vices, but they're also inexplicably addicted to Cuban cigars now. Well, that was me and Dan 14 years ago. We went to Cuba together back then and did everything you'd expect us to do. And look, obviously that was a long time
Goddamn.
ago, and we've both changed a lot since then, right? We both got haircuts.
True.
So Dan and I
Okay.
were all packed and ready to fly to Mexico and to try and sail this boat through the US blockade. What we didn't realize is that since we decided to go the dangerous route by boat instead of, flying all our aid in like everybody else, this trip would essentially be a never-ending cascade of bad news. And we
Yeah,
received our
bro.
first dose of it as soon as we arrived.
Like, I don't. He does a lot of stupid things, but this actually, I'm surprised he isn't dead. I actually am.
We got a message from the organizers. Apparently there's some fucking, cyclone. Yeah, so essentially,
What?
we're going to be delayed by 3-4 days, and we don't even know. I'm scared of the US invading Cuba.
Yeah,
The longer we wait,
yeah, the
the
more.
more likely we're going to be there for when that happens.
Everyone else just flying in, hey?
Yeah, every smart person,
Yeah.
every important person. Also, I'm scared of getting bombed by the US. And it's
That's a
like,
valid thing to
now
be
we're
scared of,
taking this
considering how many videos bro literally showed of boats getting bombed.
lowest boat possible. We're gonna spend a month in that little channel, just begging them to intervene. If we were fast enough, it's we've got a day. We've got a day in which it can happen. That's it's not a lot of time for them, for the Navy to make decisions, But now they're gonna be like, oh, do you want to do it today? They say nah, and then 3 days later they check in. They're like, they might change their mind.
Who's our captain anyway?
I don't know.
You have
I don't know
no idea.
He could be a fucking psycho. He
It probably is.
He could be Lieutenant Dan.
But who is this guy who's just?
He's like, yeah, I'd love to sail.
I'd
with you.
love to
take
go
you-
get bombed, you know.
I'd love to take YouTubers on a dangerous trip to here.
No
What
migrant.
the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's
Bruh.
I don't trust him as my captain.
The stupid windy piece of shit. I was really scared of the cyclone and the delays, but there was another coincidental issue that made me really scared of being in Cancun specifically and waiting for the
I can't believe America summoned the cyclone.
weather to
SMHing
clear
my
up.
head.
We actually timed it perfectly for the peak of spring.
I thought this is so stupid.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the most disgusting men in the world.
This is the worst.
Yeah, man, just a couple of 30-year-olds with 1,000 cameras. I feel like a married man who's concocted like the most transparent lie I could think of. Sorry, babe, I gotta go do aid work. The children need me, man. What? Spring break for a week? Popular with 18 to 25-year-olds, it's us.
We're gonna get arrested. And it's not our fault.
Dude, imagine being on the plane and the guys behind you are laughing, saying they're gonna get arrested. I would be shitting my pants, bro. What, bro? They are talking so openly about this.
No turning back from our destiny of being creeps in their mid-30s going to spring break. But whatever, that's a minor annoyance. We also had to fly a really stupid way to get there. Since the US has this tendency of arresting and deporting people who they don't like, even if they're just doing a layover and not actually entering the US, we had to fly all the way up to Canada and then fly back down to Mexico.
Oh, that's where Cal comes into this video. They flew up to Canada. He must have organized that.
How are the thumbs going, Dad? I did not think about this. I was just like, it's only 5 hours from Cancun.
Oh, spring break.
So we just sat in the warmest diner we could find near the airport for like 13 hours. And then it was time to fly over to the climate that we actually packed clothes for. Tenemos que practicar español. Tengo una idea. Todo el vuelto. El vuelo.
Oh dang, he actually wait, he's kind of cooking. Wait, he's kind of cooking. He actually speaks Spanish? No way.
Para practicar. Sí. Si no sabemos cómo se dice algo, tenemos que
Wait, dude, he actually knows how to speak Spanish pretty well.
decirlo en inglés con un acento español. Yo tengo miedo de las bombas americanas.
I didn't know he
Necesito
spoke this so well.
caca en mis pantalones.
Oh,
¿Cómo se dice? Se dice así.
he does talk like somebody who has had years of Spanish like classes. So he definitely has been taught. Like he didn't go to a place and then live in a Spanish place in order to learn it for sure. Because you definitely can tell those types of people the way they talk.
We finally touched down in Mexico and we had to make our way to this little island where our boats were leaving from. So far, Mexico's the best country I've ever seen. Live music on the ferry ride, it was bloody great.
Oh. Okay.
This is the kind of thing that happens.
What?
It's like the Lord of the Rings, the final scene when they go to the Elvish heaven.
Bruh. Okay. We didn't.
Song when we get double tapped. I've never seen my own dad so clearly.
This is what it's gonna be like.
Floating up that way.
You ascend into the heavens.
So there we were. We're on the island and it was time to see the boats and meet our fellow sailors. We haven't slept in like 2 days. And there's something about being so severely jet lagged that like doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
And if we're doing something normal, it would feel surreal. We're also doing something insane. So we found the place, and it turns out our boats were just on the other side of this mangrove.
The
Now,
Aussie
I went
phone
in
is
there without
ringing.
filming because
Hold on, I gotta take this call, Aussie. It's your mother, I am kidding.
Okay.
my first impression by being, an annoying YouTuber and sticking a camera in
Random
people's
couch?
faces. But it turns out their first impression of me was actually much worse than any of that, right? Like, what happened next is probably the
What?
most embarrassing thing I've ever put on the internet. And in my defense, I was very sleep deprived, like super sleep deprived. But I don't even know why I'm making excuses, right? You're going to see it anyway. But I essentially ran away from them, right? I shat my pants and I just ran away. Like, I was only there for like 2 minutes and I met them and I said, hi, my name is Alexa. And these are like serious activists that were on the previous flotilla to Gaza. And they started telling me all this scary stuff, like about the likelihood of us getting bombed and how dangerous the conditions are in the sea right now. And I suddenly felt like this burning sensation in my stomach, and I said I need to go poo, but then I disappeared for like 24 hours. And to be fair, I was actually pooing for a while. Like, it was one of those like serious like shirt poos, but that only accounted for like 15 minutes of my disappearance. So the next 24 hours were mainly just me panicking and planning to go home.
You okay?
My stomach's fucked. It's so fucking
Dude, I mean, what did he expect? I don't understand. I'm so glad that he actually is still alive. But brother, this is like trying to figure out what it feels like to get shot in the foot and being like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of scared to get shot in the foot. It's like, no shit, bro.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I just feel like an idiot.
What happened
Did I
to the
come all this
shrimp
way?
that tried to take a straight jacket off? It pulled a muscle. Drum emoji.
Okay.
Why are geologists so good in school? They take nothing for granted.
Okay.
Secretly knowing that I didn't want to do this thing. I feel like the dumbest guy in the world.
No
Like, what did I
shit.
think it was going to look like? What could it possibly have looked like that wasn't this confronting? And now I'm fucking embarrassed, because like, why did I disappear? I was there for 2 seconds.
I honestly would feel a little bit worried that they think that you're some kind of spy, that you went in and got information and then ran
What are
away.
your options? I mean, I don't think you can really go home.
I mean, you can do it either. That's the thing. I can go home and just like learn that I'm not that guy. Like, that doesn't-
No, I
You're
don't
not
think
that
you're
guy.
gonna feel good doing that.
I feel bad, but it's like I could have died. But Eddie thinks better than that.
Yeah, you really feel.
Yeah, I'm like really scared.
Yeah.
Hours passed during this freak out. The organizers didn't know where I'd gone. Like, little did they know that I was just a kilometer away and it was just me staring into the void and apparently stimming, which is a brand new feature I didn't realize I had for the past 30 years. But this one I worked out what the problem was. Like, it's not the fact that I'm like a pampered YouTuber who pretends he cares about the world but, you know, can't handle any risk to his comfortable middle-class life. You see, the problem was Dan. See, Dan is one of those very kind people, right? Like a really good friend that's gonna, like, you know, when they see their friend panicking, they try to comfort them, right? Like hear them out and give them space. But that's when I realized what I actually needed was like an asshole like Alex, right? Whenever I freak out,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
sneaking
shut
to
the
CIA
fuck up,
base
bro,
laundering money.
and get the hell on the
He's always
boat.
been there to concoct the most sociopathically efficient way to bully me into doing something I'm terrified of.
Yeah, he did do
Hey,
that.
Alec.
What did he call them up? He called them up.
Fucking shitting myself. I'm so scared.
We went to go meet everybody, Alex, and Alexa just decided he needed to take a crap and ran off after.
I literally
dinner.
ran away.
No, I don't really want to do this anymore, guys. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I just remembered I need to poo, and then they never see me again.
It's exactly what you asked.
No,
for.
it is exactly what I asked for, and now I'm thinking like, did I just secretly know the entire time that I didn't want to do this?
Well, I was surprised. Like, why am I freaking out more than Alexa is? I was like, is this man fucking suddenly loving open ocean?
Why am I so fucking stupid?
Well, Alexa, I think you know nothing about sailing, so don't try to understand it. all right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
let them. You're not going to magically solve all their sailing problems in like 5 minutes. Be like, wait, what if we tried this? It's just going to confuse you, and you're going to feel worse about it.
Well, I feel really bad now, so I think that's what's happened. The woman who's like one of the organizers did the Gaza flotilla, and she's like, yeah, you know, when we did that, it was like a 70% chance that we would die, you know, and we all knew that. And this one, you know, is more chill, and I'm just like, I don't want to.
This one's
Like, how
more
much
chill.
I
Now
like
it's only
these people who
60%
have-
chance.
Who seem like their risk tolerance is so high.
Like Dan.
Like Dan. Well, Dan's like, yeah, they seem really nice and cool.
Well, I think you need to remember, Alexa, that you are a YouTube content creator.
True.
I think, what would Mr. Beast do?
Pay someone else to do it. Pay someone $1 million to do it with their
This is
hands tied behind
what would Mr. Beast do? Maybe not come here at all.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot. I said that was meant to be helpful. I forgot he would do that. Yeah. So, Alexa, I really gotta poo as well.
But that was my problem.
I know, but that's what I gotta do now as well.
Okay.
Alright, well, good luck. Let me know what you decide to do.
Okay. Bye-bye.
So the call obviously didn't help, and I immediately went back to being a fidgety little coward. I spent 2 minutes around legitimately selfless people who understand that their lives aren't more important than the lives of Palestinians and Cubans, and you know they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. And I was slowly realizing that I'm a bit of a phony, and I'm terrified. Like before I made any drastic decisions, I did decide to sleep on it, right? And honestly, a decent part of my panic could be attributed to the fact that I hadn't slept 50 hours because the next day was absolutely beautiful. I mean, look, the boats weren't in the best condition. You know, the wood was rotten, the metal beams were snapped. You know, we were essentially stranded, waiting for the weather to get better. And the
Holy,
third boat
bro.
we wanted to be on hadn't even arrived in the port.
What?
I mean, we weren't even sure if it existed, but
It's
everyone
just,
was
it's practically just a fucking wooden raft.
trying their best to deal with all these problems. And I discovered that it's surprisingly easy to distract yourself from your imminent death when you're busy trying to fix up a boat. For the next few days, we'd spend the daytime fixing up the boats and spend the nights having, you know, little hoedowns.
Bye, Legend Freak. Oh shit. Oh.
I honestly felt like I was
Me and the boys in Sea of Thieves.
This is the kind of thing that a middle-aged woman would fantasize about when, you know, her husband forgets her anniversary. You know, just a ship full of sexy young adventurers in South America, just surrounded by, like, you know, socially conscious, ripped guys who they stare deep into your eyes and promise to take you far away to feed starving people and make love under the stars. But still, for those few days, I was actually having a great time, right? Apart from when we sang all those sea shanties that, for some reason, they traditionally always focus on sailors dying horrible deaths on the ocean.
Oh. At least they're in English.
But I did learn a lot about, like, boat maintenance, and I met a lot of cool people, which reminds me, I promised Jorge I'd plug his homemade chairs in this video, so if you're ever in Isla Mujeres and you need a really good chair,
W chair.
Jorge, he's got you covered. Anyway, as each day went past, I was getting a lot more comfortable, but more importantly, since a lot of these people had been on the previous flotilla to Gaza, like this guy playing the fiddle called Adnan, he let me know in detail what we were in for, and I was surprised. You know, I spent the lead up to this trip freaking out about getting bombed by the US, but it turns out it's also pretty fucked if they don't kill you, right? Even just getting intercepted by the military is still a horrifying experience.
Normally they intercept the boats with, like, their elite marine units, but there were so many boats, so they didn't have enough of those elite forces, so they just called up, like, reservists, and you could see that they were, like, totally... Like, they didn't know how to drive the boat. Like, they couldn't figure out, like, they were throwing up. They were seasick. Like,
oh my God.
You know, once you first see that green laser dot on your chest and you know that it's an 18-year-old who's been raised from birth to think that you're some kind of threat and subhuman, honestly, there's a pretty decent chance they'll pull the trigger.
Now, the interesting thing about Adnan is that, unlike everyone else who was sailing into the arms of the IDF, Adnan was simultaneously on a family vacation because he was on the boat with his younger brother as well.
They demanded the passport when they intercepted him, and he said, I want to speak to a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
And they punched him in the face.
Whoa!
And when they loaded him on the prison bus, like, there's cells on the bus, so, like, you're already locked up. And the four of the guys just jumped on him and just started hammering him.
Holy shit.
And they beat him until he fell to his knees and curled up in a fetal position, and they were kicking him. And I was there watching my brother get beat, and I couldn't do that.
God damn.
That was tough. You know, finally, I think we got into our cell. It was like a relief to be in the cell, because you're like, okay, we're going to be left alone at least for a little while now, you know.
But the relief didn't last long. Now, this is where the psychological warfare started.
We were, like, totally disoriented. I mean, we hadn't slept for 24 hours, and we were just exhausted. Of course, I don't know what time it was in the morning. They undo the padlock. It's a big crossbar that they take off the door, so you hear the clunk, you know, of the metal. We were made to kneel down. Put our hands on our heads, and we didn't understand what was going on at all. So they've got dogs as well that they come in and they're like ready to release on you. They've got their green sniper dots on your chest. Yeah, sometimes they would just come in and count you. Yeah. And it's like, you think somebody slipped away?
Yeah,
you know?
guys ate each other, like, I don't know.
No, I wanted to move to the next cell. I just tunneled through the wall, you know, I don't know what the hell.
So they do this weird intimidation routine multiple times a night. Like, you never know when it's coming, right? And it always ends with them counting you.
But one time, he forgot that how many people were in the cell afterwards. So they came in like all like shock and awe. Lights on, guns out, dogs in, everything, count us, blah, blah, blah. And then he forgot, so after we were all like getting back in bed, he came back and like meekly poked his head like through the bars of the cage, and it's like,
That's ridiculous.
And it was so funny to me, like why don't you just do that in the first place?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's because you want to terrorize.
Intimidation, yeah. I mean, look, it's a horrifying experience, but these activists are just constantly willing to put their lives on the line, like again and again for a good cause. And it makes sense why they do it, right? When you're fighting against the most powerful countries in the world and you're just a regular civilian, the flotillas are actually a really clever tactic. Like Cuba and Gaza, right? A group of people are being starved by a military blockade, but the countries that are doing it are put in an impossible position when the flotilla arrives, right? So either you let them through and you look weak and it inspires more people to try and break your blockade, or you kill them or imprison them, in which case you look like a monster because now you're harming civilians from other countries, not just, the brown people that you've so far been able to justify killing. For that reason, the authorities try to stop the flotilla at every step of the way before you set sail. Which is actually quite easy to do in the case of Cuba because the country's already sanctioned to shit, right? So if we want to get a boat for the flotilla, the company that rents or sells it to us and the insurance company that's covering the transaction and the voyage, they're immediately locked out of the international banking system because they're now doing business related to Cuba, right? And I don't know, no business is going to take that risk. So that's why our boats kind of suck, right? Like we
Is this going to be a fucking test? Dude, there's so much here. Oh my god, it's only been 30 minutes. Holy bro, there's so much to this.
Or pay a business an exorbitant amount of money to, make up for the fact that, their company will practically cease to exist after they do business with us. And we got a taste of that bureaucratic issue while we were fixing up these ships and the ship that we were meant to be on never arrived. Right, it turns out all this pressure from the US and their sanctions meant that our boat was being held up all the way over here in Progreso, 300 kilometers in the wrong direction. So Dan and I had to get a last-minute bus across Yucatan and gear up for a much longer sea voyage if we were actually going to be allowed to set sail at all. Which is a pretty annoying situation to be in, but it was only exacerbated by the fact that the Mexican bus company chose the worst possible movies to play.
There are so many movies in the world. Why did the Mexican bus have to play the one of everyone dying at sea? What the fuck is this? I hate this. Also,
They knew that he was going to go on a boat. They had to play this.
We got another call from Alex to scare us even more.
Trump's comments this morning where Trump was just saying, yeah, I can take it.
I do believe I'll be having the honor of making Cuba. I think I can do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation.
Oh, I fucking hate it. It actually changes the way I look at Twitter now because everything I read scares the crap out of me. Like, hearing just like
fuck, dude,
on this thing is so upsetting. I'm just like, just shut up. Just don't talk about it. Just leave me alone. Like.
But we finally arrived to Progreso Harbour and it was time to see our boat.
I have not seen our boat. I've heard some horrible things about it, but I haven't seen it.
What's the best case scenario?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. I don't even know what a good boat looks like.
What are you looking for here?
I want to see a local walk past and go, good boat.
But we finally arrived at Progreso Harbour and it was time to see our boat.
Oh no. What is that, bro? Oh.
The only problem is no one from the flotilla was here yet, so we're just a couple of gringos in a fishing town trying to work out which boat is ours.
I'm really hoping it's that luxury yacht with the American flag.
Oh.
Look at that thing.
Why is that even there? What are they doing there, bro?
All I could really tell was that these were definitely 100% fishing boats.
Oh yeah, you smell that.
Yeah, that's pretty potent. I guess we're on...
They said blue and white, which is...
That could be one of them.
Oh fuck, is that one wooden?
Yeah.
We got the one wooden one?
After a little while, the other...
You know what? It floats. So, not the worst.
Our first glimpse of the boat.
But they told me it was the biggest one. And you can see it there, just sticking out of the top. Big is good, I think. Bigger the boat, better the boat.
Right.
Think about Titanic. You know, big.
Oh, you're gonna get to
yeah,
it.
because nothing bad happens in Titanic. Right.
Yeah, most of the boat.
I think it's had a fresh coat of paint too.
You can smell the fresh paint.
Golly, it's completely rusted over.
I'm super excited. So much improved from yesterday.
Oh really? I like the smell of the paint. It's really overpowering the smell of the fish. Put like a fresh coat of paint on a fishing boat. You don't know what the actual offensive smell is. You know, it's good.
Whoa. The aid hadn't
Brother,
arrived yet,
is this
so
a
we were getting
fucking
busy,
pirate? They got a whole
cleaning
ass
up and
wooden
washing
wheel
the boat.
too.
And I thought I was doing a pretty good job and, making myself useful, but I'd barely been on the boat for 15 minutes, and I managed to secure my position as the most useless crew member. Pay attention to this rusty metal shaft that goes down 2 meters into the engine room. Even though I'm filming it right now, in about 3 minutes, I'm about to forget all about it and walk into the boat with my head held high and just plummet straight down that hole.
Oh. I heard the sound and everybody yell out and said that's definitely Alexis falling down the hole.
Brother. How is he managed to embarrass himself so bad twice?
What happened, Alexa?
I walked straight through the hole.
You gotta watch out for that. Oh man. You give me careful.
I think he's actually a cartoon character.
Really hurt doing that. Yeah, careful. Oh man.
Ooh, hopefully it's not tetanus, bro.
Could you just like split your head open?
Yeah, that's crazy. That should not have happened.
While we're in this fishing village, watching all these fishermen trying to help us reverse park our fishing boat, something dawned on me.
I've been shitting myself for a week about the US bombing all those fishing boats. I didn't realize we're like exactly on a fishing boat. Like this is the worst kind of boat for it, isn't it?
This is where the tuna go.
Yeah, there's a little fish hatch.
What I also didn't take into account is that the fishermen here, all around us, live with the constant fear of getting bombed every time.
Hi, Ursula. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm watching this giant ass video from Boy Boy. It's a very good video so far. It's about the Cuba thing happening right now.
They set sail to do their jobs.
He's low key. He's gonna try to sneak past the military blockade in Cuba. I don't know why. He's fucking idiot for doing this. He also knows he's an idiot for doing this. That's crazy. I know this guy usually does. He's very good at making entertaining videos and very interesting videos about common events that are happening right now, and he also does crazy things when it comes to said events. And so this is one of his biggest videos so far. Like he usually only makes like 40-minute videos. This is an hour and a half. Holy. This is about to get crazy shit. Oh, fuck the ad. Hold on, let me get rid of the ad.
It was actually horrifying thinking that these people risk getting blown up just for doing their jobs. And, you know,
have you seen the two Argentinians that got arrested in the US unfairly? They managed to leave prison after 48 hours. Hey, let's freaking go. I have not. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. Is that I don't watch a lot of news, but I would never hear about that. The thing is, you want to know the funny thing about Cuba being completely blocked off in a military blockade? I had no fucking clue about it until this video dropped. I actually had no clue that this was what was happening. I have no idea.
Until the fishermen
started. It was crazy. And apparently they've been doing it ever since Venezuela, ever since we took the president of Venezuela. How didn't you know? I don't know. But I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of news, but like we don't really hear much about this kind of stuff, you know?
How much better his boat
We only hear about victories and good things we've done, which is very far and few between.
Our boat, and then I don't know. I felt kind of neutral about it after that.
Has no internet. Almost everything is really prohibited. I mean, the most of their oil was from Venezuela, apparently. And since we took the president of Venezuela, they've stopped giving oil to Cuba. And now Cuba can get literally nothing. So now there's people that are going and giving supplies to Cuba, but they're getting blown up. And so this guy decided, you know what? I'm going to go on one of those boats. You know, the boats that are being blown up. Yeah, I'm gonna go on that. Then again, it's apparently a big group of like activists that are going back and forth. It's called a flotilla or something when they use this to like be activists on a boat for the blockade, I guess. So we'll see. Very interesting though.
Así es, muy bonito.
Unfortunately, we had to end our tour of this guy's much more comfortable.
These two guys being arrested is that USA is a crazy place to be Latin America. Dude, USA is a crazy place to not be an American. It's just psycho, bro. We're just fucking horrible people.
Sturdier boat because our aid truck started coming in and it was time to somehow get 30 tons of food and medicine onto this boat. Now, we didn't just have 3 big trucks, but also a bunch of like nice everyday people heard what was going on and drove up and brought their own donations. It was really beautiful.
Into Cuba
Yeah, it was
with
a
a
lot of
camera on. This guy always does crazy shit like this. So let me show you. I love Boy. He's awesome. If you also have seen I Did a Thing, he's like good friends with that's literally I Did a Thing in the video right there. So he literally goes around and like kind of he's very much kind of politics related, but he makes it in a very entertaining way. So like weird world of mercenary influencers and stuff like that. Hi, live from. Oh my gosh, hi, live from. Okay, this is a weird way of doing it. CIA masterclass. Like he looks at a lot of these weird things, like things that are going on right now that are just like crazy weird stuff. Like this one. This one's pretty interesting. The environmental disaster nobody knows about. There's a bunch of deep dives that he does for things that mostly, dare I say, they're for the Americans because low-key we don't know what's happening in our own fucking country.
work, but the energy was great.
What's up, Lifram, by the way? Hello.
In the whole time, so even when you're on your 50th sack of beans and you know it rips apart and you spill beans everywhere, you need to like tape it up and fix it, you still feel great. It had been hours and hours of hot work, and I was slowly starting to realize how much 30 tons actually is, right? Like, especially when you're down in the hull, loading an endless stream of sacks and boxes.
It's really warm down there. Yeah.
Been down below.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Cuba has like, what's the population of Cuba, bro? It has to be like millions, right? I'm good. How are you? I'm chilling. It's really late for me. I didn't expect to stream this late, but I just came back from my parents' 4th of July party, despite it being July 3rd. So I came back really late. There's 8 to 10 million people in Cuba. So this 30 tons of food is like, it's a lot. But the fact that this is all they can manage, like, this is barely a week's worth of food. I don't even know who they're spreading this up for. I look up for a video in English about the Argentinians and I can't find it. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, we will not hear about that type of shit. Happy 3rd of July. Thank you. Yeah, happy 3rd of July. Yeah, apparently it's, you know the other thing, Ursula? The reason why we definitely won't hear about that? Bro, some huge fucking event could be happening in the world right now, but guess what? Tomorrow is the 250th birthday of America. So dare I say, the Americans' priorities are somewhere else. It's the 250th birthday for America. Oh, wow.
It's just thick smell of diesel.
Yeah.
Hot.
Working.
Boxes. Is this another? Is one of the?
Yeah, there's 2 more to go.
Is this the same truck?
Same one.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Let's
stuff.
go have a smoke.
But we just kept going, right? Loading bicycles and solar panels and everything that would fit on this boat.
I need someone to translate, bro. I will do a little text telling the story. Okay, I'm down.
What was going on, and they made us stop so they could check through all the things we were loading to make sure everything was up to code. Which led.
I wonder if it's just because you're looking up from where you're looking it up. Hold on. 2 Argentinians. Hold on. There's YouTube videos about it. Hold on. ESPN, Argentinian police arrest suspects in U.S. Okay, that's opposite. Argentinian police arrest 2 Chileans. I low-key can't find anything about this. I see 2 Chileans, but that was back in May 27th. Yeah, I can't even find it if I look it up.
To hours of negotiations, right? When they clocked that we had filled this little boat with like 30 tons of aid and there were only 10 beds, they insisted that we only had capacity for 10 people and that more than half of us wouldn't be able to make the trip, which is, you know, a rough thing to hear after weeks of preparation, but
Whoa.
eventually they caved and let us go.
Yay!
Until the sun came up the next morning and they returned to address even more regulatory issues and safety concerns. But at least there's one major safety concern that we don't need to worry about because we addressed it within the first 15 minutes of seeing the boat.
Right, if they painted that white border around it because of me, I'm integral to the ship's safety. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have painted that. Yeah.
W.
I just go out, walk through places.
Oh yeah,
get
for
hurt,
context,
and
bro, he, like a cartoon character, walked into that room and fell down the hole. So that's what he's talking about right now.
But it was all squared away now, and we had officially gotten our passports stamped by the customs officer. So this was it, right? There's no turning back now, and I am terrified.
That's it. There we go. Well, if we don't go now, then we're going to be illegal in Mexico. Oh, you learn something new about yourself all the time.
What are you learning?
I just realized that when I'm actually scared, I need a poo.
You're like an octopus.
I don't understand. I thought it was like a turn of phrase, like shitting myself.
No. Oh, there you go.
I can't stop pooping.
This is a journey of self-discovery.
I don't want to know that.
Self-discovery, also known as blowing
I
up.
have to do something important in the future.
Yeah.
I will just have to poo myself.
Yeah, no, you can prepare for the scenario.
Well,
Your
you know,
low-fiber diet.
I'm about to have a baby. I gotta shit. You know, I go to my...
Well, I'll tell you what, this experience is definitely going to make it to where other experiences are not going to be so scary.
Funeral. I'm shitting, I'm not there. How bad is that? What am I going to do on the boat? I'm just going to be pooping the entire time.
Yeah, better the devil we know, hey?
Agradecer a todos los trabajadores del puerto también.
Gracias.
Pasa allá afuera.
Dude, how do, bro, two of them having shirts that say Paris on it. Pato and Manuel are two Argentinian content creators. They had a FIFA pass to get into every match of the World Cup. They used the pass to get into the Uruguay and Cape Verde match. When they went to use it again on another match, the pass was for some reason not usable. So instead of getting rejected, this pass was officially made by the FIFA. They got arrested by the USA police. Sheeshers, bro. Golly. Hi, Ozzy. Hi, Luna. Dude, that's fucking crazy, bro. Classic, bro.
Stuck on the boat now, and whatever happens, happens. So I guess now's a good time to find out what the actual chances are I'll get blown up out here.
So now's the time.
You might think the US is blowing up narco traffickers in the Caribbean, or you might think they're just killing random fishermen, and that depends a lot on what kind of media you consume. Now, if you're watching this from a boat in the Caribbean and you want to work out if a missile is heading your way, you could read through like every single news article ever written and sift through the bias to find out if you're being targeted, but time is of the essence in this scenario. So thankfully, today's sponsor, Ground News...
Oh, okay. It's sponsor moment. It's sponsor time. It's sponsor time. It's sponsor time.
For some reason, as soon as... Now back to the video. Everyone was so excited to finally set sail, and for some reason, as soon as
Good morning. Good morning,
I wasn't that
Max.
scared anymore. Like it's kind of like the possibility of going home kept me in a state of panic, and now that I knew I had no choice, my mind just tried to shut off all the unhelpful negative stuff.
I was pooping my pants out of fear like half an hour ago, and now I feel like I've never pooed before in my life. It's perfect. I feel really, really good.
Quietly confident, eh?
Yeah, I reckon. I'm not the kind of person that dies.
I'm not the type of person. I wouldn't do that. My lore has more to go through.
What do you reckon is sailing like for you?
For now, in the harbour, the 5 minutes of sailing we've done, I reckon I could do this the rest of my life.
Now, I knew we had a bunch of activists and journalists on board from around the world, but I felt a bit out of place seeing the caliber of journalism on this boat.
I should have brought a suit.
Yeah, you're trying to...
Bro, he looked actual journalism versus the YouTuber in the corner.
That's fucking awesome. Is he gonna wear it the whole time?
But as we left the harbour, it got harder and harder to hold the camera straight. And eventually it got hard to just stand straight. And I realise now that I'm editing it, it's surprisingly hard to capture how unstable the boat was on camera. Because, the cameraman is essentially being this human gimbal. Like here's an example. If you do this to a chicken, notice how its head always stays upright. That was us when we were filming, right? You're watching this video through the chicken's head. And
let me do that.
Looks much better from the perspective of the chicken.
Why is the gay thing still there?
It's hard to walk around, man.
It's 2 a.m. and I can't see anything. I can't even read the title of the video. Holy, bro. Max, you gotta go to bed. They ended up in some high security jail. It's only 2 days. In only 2 days, they had to go through some crazy shit like racism, being hit by police without reason, getting a nude in front of them. But they also couldn't call anyone because police would only accept USA numbers. Of course, they only knew Argentinians. Yeah, that usually happens. If you aren't an American and you get arrested by American soldiers and shit like that, like, you have pretty much no rights, bro. You pretty much have, like, you are like an animal. You are like a farm animal until you are either released or killed. That usually is how it goes. I hear so many fucking horror stories about that shit.
Are we gonna get used to it? I don't know.
This guy talking, this dude, there's actually a really good video on here that it kind of is a similar thing, bro. I'm scared to go to the US. Like, I think you'd be fine in certain ways. Like, if you get, like, if you have the proper paperwork to do it. Like, FIFA on its own, yes, it's a big thing that's happening right now, but, like, it's also a temporary thing, and it's also something that was just now implemented. Like, I could see it going wrong in a system and then the US being like, oh, fucking kill that guy or some shit. But if you were like, you got, you know, the temporary visa or whatever, and then you got the plane ticket, like, you got a lot of things that mean you could be there, like the passport and shit. Like, I'm pretty sure you will be fine. But yeah, it is what it is. This video right here talks about the guy who tried to be a lawyer for, like, Native Americans in some part of South America, after, like, I think it was somewhere in Venezuela, because there was, like, a huge oil spill, and they had to, like, the people, the indigenous people there were, like, cleaning up oil by, like, wading through it. So he was gonna represent them as a lawyer, and then basically got completely fucked over by an oil company and was treated in that kind of similar way. But in this instance, he actually was, like, I don't know if he was a U.S. citizen. I think he might have been, maybe he was Australian? I can't remember. That video is very good. We can even watch that one after this. Crazy thumbnail. Yeah, he does have crazy thumbnails, I will say. They do not hold back on their thumbnails.
Apparently this is the easy bit.
My friend's numbers. Yo, just Discord call me. Ask them if they could use Discord. I got you. I'll come pick you up.
Bigger the waves, they're gonna get fucked. Oh Lord Jesus.
At this point, I realized there was something I needed to do that I should have done.
Hi, Menno.
Gotta put this on top of the boat. You're gonna fall off. I can barely walk down here.
Discord cut. Bro, if you called me and said, yo, I'm locked up on the border, I'd be like, I got you, bro. Give me fucking 10 hours to drive there.
I was pretty scared of flying overboard when I went to set up this satellite on the roof, but now that I'm editing the video, I'm actually much more scared about the fact that my dick was hanging out of my pants the entire time.
I was not expecting that.
Just so many clips of just my balls on the screen. And before we set sail, you know, we got all our luggage. We ratcheted it up, like, down in the hull so it wouldn't fly around everywhere. But that meant
I was not expecting that to happen.
What I had on, you know, and it was really stupid. So if anyone on the flotilla was watching this, I'm so sorry you had to stare at my balls for, like, an entire week. Like, I actually had no idea that they were just hanging out the whole time. And I don't know, getting seasick and worried about getting bombed is bad enough without having to stare at my balls all week. So
yeah, really that sucks.
But back to the satellite. I got up on the roof and the waves were pretty nuts.
Is that Starlink? Is that a Starlink? Oh my god, it literally is. That's totally Starlink. This totally is.
To the ground, but the ground wasn't particularly stable either.
Bits of the roof are coming off.
Oh.
Very slippery. If we get intercepted by the US Navy, if I can get internet on this ship, then I can back everything up. And then they take us, they imprison us, whatever. But
oh, smart. You can back it all up. I don't know if they'd be able to track you easier because you have a Starlink satellite, which could be a drawback, but you could at least get, you know, I did a thing to upload the footage.
What you're watching right now is going to be on the internet. All because of what we're doing right now. Okay. So if you're watching this, you can see this.
I love people who do things out of the box. Oh, you mean like out of the ordinary? Yeah. Dude, I fucking love this guy, bro. And the fact that he's friends with I Did a Thing, who is also one of my favorite, like, what's those, like, they're not really a science YouTuber, but like a guy in the garage creating things. He also does things in a very similar way of out of the box, videos. And the fact that they're good friends and they live together is crazy to me. They're two completely different, like, sides of YouTube content, but yet they both are very good at what they do.
If you're not watching this, it means it didn't work.
But I had no choice, right? You slowly get used to the movement of the boat and you learn to stay low, and we set the internet up in no time, and I could get back to work backing up our footage.
What are you doing?
Backing everything up, making sure it's everywhere.
I swear to God, if there's gay porn on that fucking computer, bro.
So where's that going?
My ass.
Okay.
Dude, guys, I know he sounds like he's joking here. He sounds like he's joking here when he says he's going to put the SD card in his ass. But he literally did that in a previous video. So don't think it's a joke.
If Terry swat on that computer.
Dude, the amount of times that this guy makes a gay porn joke, like, come on, man. Well, he literally did that in a previous video. He put an SD card in his ass so that even if he got arrested, he can keep the footage.
Oh, it's teeny tiny.
Right in my ass.
Go ahead and notice the thing.
This one. On the front of my penis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, right, yeah.
Hi, puppy dog.
For your satisfaction.
I can have a good trip.
Now, the next challenge of the day, which is actually quite linked to me being scared on the roof, is needing to use this thing. Now, since the boat is constantly rocking back and forth, you need to secure the door while you're hovering over this seatless toilet. And if you're a socially minded person, you're probably going to want to flush when you're done. So you have to get this bucket and lower it over the side of the boat and fill it up with seawater before you even go in. Now, I used this toilet exactly once, like only on the first day. It was actually impossible to stay still, right? You're squatting over this thing, shaking back and forth, you're shitting everywhere, and it took me like 20 minutes to just clean up the mess that I made. And at that point, I made a vow that I just wouldn't poo ever again. And I would mind over matter and just like hold it in for the next week. And it's not even about the sheer difficulty of like pooping.
He's on that boat for a week?
This, like, stinky, confined plywood box, and just makes you seasick immediately. So, you know, feeling constipated is way better than that. But it also became increasingly difficult to be inside the boat at all, because it turns out the Alex Avlovich memorial shaft was left constantly open to stop the engine room from overheating, which meant that the kitchen and the bunk beds were just dense with this like noxious diesel fume. So when the sun started going down, most people tried to find some space to sleep on the floor outside, which was harder than we originally thought, because, you know, we loaded multiple pallets of solar panels on the deck. So it wasn't a lot of space for sleeping. If you're lucky, you'd get a hold of one of the few gym mats that were lying around and, you know, find a spare spot. Or you'd make really good friends with someone who managed to secure a spot themselves. Now, it got surprisingly cold at night on the high seas, which is something I didn't know about, and I didn't really plan for, since, you know, all our luggage was in the hull. So I was just stuck in short shorts, and apparently with my dick hanging out, so I was very cold. Now, there was obviously a lot of water lapping up onto the deck, and any smart person would have quickly claimed, you know, the few dry spots on the ground, but I'm an idiot, and instead I focused on doing this. At this point, it was getting really cold and all the good sleeping spots had been taken, but I managed to get creative and realized I could sleep on the edge of this wooden pallet if I just kind of squeezed myself under the ropes that were holding the stack of solar panels in place. And after a night of sliding back and forth and like constantly waking up to my head hitting the edge of the boat, you know, the sun was shining, and it was our turn to cook for everyone, and I love cooking. Honestly, I felt
cooking on a rock. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that.
And I somehow convinced myself that I had some kind of like
don't need to see that
immunity to seasickness, but I mean, obviously I was wrong. Either that or like the stress of the trip.
Dude, I think out of every single piece of content, like movies, shows, documentaries, I feel like unnecessary scenes of someone puking is never needed in any scenario ever. I just don't feel like it's ever necessary. I hate it.
Bulimia where I had
you can't stand vomiting.
Shouldn't go up.
Here's the thing. If it happened in real life, like I've had to clean up very disgusting things from my two puppies, whether they've thrown up or had really bad like shits before, like in the house. I have no problem if it's like whatever, it happened, I have to clean it up. But if something happened and some guy pulled out his phone and recorded it and then decided to keep it in the final cut of like, especially in a movie or a show where they fake it, and it's like you literally acted out vomiting. Why? It's just nasty for the sake of being nasty.
Vomit everything out before I could eat a meal.
So hungry, I vomited everything.
Just in time, eh?
But I couldn't keep any food down. Once the seasickness
Don't
set
you
in,
dare.
it was actually horrible. Like, it was so bad. It felt like you
No,
were
I have my finger on the fucking skip button.
over and like super dizzy, but you're also forced to be on like this 600-kilometer long roller coaster, and it's not like one of those cool roller coasters where you get to have fun and kiss. It's like a roller coaster where you also have to do chores the whole time. Like even just getting a cup of water is so hard. Like you have to. It involves like tightrope walking and like washing dishes and squats. It was actually fucked. Like I was just counting down the 72 hours until we landed, just praying it would all stop. And I guess my wish kind of came true because it was that moment that the engine died. It turns out it was probably a faulty alternator. So everyone was scrambling for solutions, right? Like some people were trying to jerry-rig one of the solar batteries that were taking a Cuba, while other people tried to set up an old generator.
Hitting the generator with a fucking... Oh my god, bro.
Power the battery.
They really were
and I was
desperate.
trying to address the issue by just continuously vomiting over the edge of the boat. You
Nope,
just-
don't,
it was
nope.
kinda nice,
Skip.
aimlessly in the middle of the ocean for hours and not getting any closer to Cuba. But it was kind of nice. I mean, without the deafening noise of the engine, it was a little bit easier to just lie perfectly still and ignore the seasickness. You know, I kind of feel like I reached a level of zen in that moment because I didn't realize at all that we were about to be boarded by the military.
Oh!
I woke up, tried to work out what was happening, but everyone I spoke to was confused. I went to my laptop and realized that my very special strategy of uploading everything online was a complete failure. I had like half a terabyte of footage and literally none of it was uploaded. I should guess by the fact that it took about an hour to just like check the news every day. But yeah, my footage wasn't backed up anywhere. And obviously you are watching the footage right now, so I guess I managed to save it somehow. But in the moment, I thought it was game over. So for the sake of
Put it up your
immersion,
ass. You gotta put it up the ass.
You're not watching this video right now. You're thinking about this happening.
Oh, okay. Okay. Immersion. Hope is one of the nice ships. I feel like that you would never even see them if they were one of the evil ships, you know?
It's smiling.
I don't understand what's happening. He's like a shark. He came from that side, and now he's coming around there, and it looks like he's going to turn around this way as well. Just circling us until we get hungry and beg for mercy.
Thankfully, it was a false alarm. It turns out the captain had sent out a distress signal when the motor broke, and since we were in Mexican waters, a Mexican Navy ship came by to help us out.
Oh,
and after an hour,
hey, not bad.
the engine was back on.
Okay, never
Now, this would have been a
mind.
relief because it
The
meant we
good
were back on track
ending.
to arriving
That's a big
in 3
fucking
days.
boat, by the way. That's a huge boat to show up for a distress signal, bro. Holy, bro.
Thankfully, we were safe because he guys, and he said something completely different.
The Navy man just said if we need 5 days to get to Cuba, and our crew says we need 3, and we have like half a alternator.
So it might be 3 days, but it also might be 5, and also it might be even longer depending on how many times we break down and whether we can fix the problem at all. And the entire time I'll either be vomiting or worrying about dying or going to jail. Like, I kind of felt like I was in hell.
So on the day before interception came, the boat I was on Sumut Flotilla broke 4 times. It was 4 times engine failures. And when the engine stopped, it would be a noise like beep. So it was amazing.
I mean, it makes sense. The boat looks like it is just in the worst shape, bro. It looks like it's such a bad shape.
Get used to, and if you want the mission to keep on moving, you just gotta take a light mood and work with it, make it work again. That's it.
But look, whatever I'd been doing for the whole trip obviously wasn't working. So I thought, you know, I might try this like weird new South American thing called being happy.
Wow. Okay, hot take. Weird.
I got to tell you, man, this new strategy was working out surprisingly well until nighttime because it was my turn on the roster to stay up and stand guard as the night watchman.
Oh,
you see, on
that
the Gaza
sucks.
flotilla, they'd get attacked by drones at night, dropping bombs, starting fires, or even spraying.
It's
weird,
a
like,
fucking Cucaracha song. I mean, he probably got his hands on anything that wouldn't be copyrighted.
It was up to me to wake everyone up if we were
Hey,
being
puppy
attacked.
dog.
But
What's
here's
up?
the problem, right? You look at this light in the sky. And you tell me whether that's a star or a passenger plane or a drone about to bomb us. Like, the
That's
sky is full of
terrifying.
these things, and there's no decision that I can make here that isn't incredibly embarrassing, right? Either I'm the idiot who woke everyone up because he saw a star, or I'm the idiot who didn't warn everyone that we were about to get bombed. It was kind of shit either way, but I guess maybe it didn't matter. Like, I realize if I do get hit by a drone strike, I won't even know what happens. You know, I'll just be gone. It kind of made me wonder if any of the fishermen over the past year have been in this exact same spot, thinking the exact same thing, like thinking they might be seconds away from being hit. You know, they're thinking about their family and all the things they've done in their life, and just, you know, praying that God will accept them into the crystal clear waters and sunny skies of fisherman's heaven. Like, it's funny to look back at it now, but I honestly thought I was gonna die.
What is this video
And
he's playing right
it's
now?
Fucking crazy. Like, this video
That is a real video, by the way, of the Cuba, the boats going to Cuba getting bombed. That's a real unclassified video, by the way, that he's showing.
Such a massive risk, like not just for my own life, which, you know, I'm very attached to, but even just the fact that, you know, chances are we'd get intercepted and I wouldn't even have any of this footage at the end anyway. And the only way I can actually take these risks is thanks to our supporters on our Patreon. Thanks to you guys, I can take these bigger risks and make more important videos, right? And because I know the
Dude,
community's gonna have
I think they make hella money off their Patreon. Hold on, let me double check. I remember checking this a while ago. I'm pretty sure they make fucking hella money, bro. Hold on. Okay, they're just shy of 40,000 members, bro. Oh wait, hold on. Join for free. The smallest tier is $5, okay? And if I was to assume that every single member was paying like the smallest membership, which is not always true, that is 40,000 times 5, $90,000 a month. Obviously they take a cut, but even if I was to assume a 50% cut and then like 25% taxes, bro, that's still like at least $10,000 to $20,000 a month. And that's assuming the low tier. Said I was scared of dying, but then he went to Cuba. Dude, he was talking about earlier, you should have seen it, where he was like, yeah, I was lucky scared. I have something extremely important to show you. Oh, okay, I'm interested.
Back if anything goes wrong. And outside of that, this is by far the most expensive video I've ever filmed. It costs a stupid amount of money to pull this off. So if you want to help us out with future
DMs?
videos
Okay,
like
hold
this,
on.
jump.
Let me see. Oh! No way! It got finished! And I'm assuming I can show this, right? You want me to... yes. Okay, bet. No shot. So cute. No weighing. That's adorable. Very well done. I don't know. I don't know what who the artist is, but it's incredibly well done. Holy. Awooga. Very, very nice. Wait, hold on. You just showed me the work in progress like yesterday, right? Dude, wait, they made a hella progress in one day. That's kind of crazy. Bro said awooga. Am I fucking wrong? Am I freaking wrong? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? You want me to lie? You want to lie? He's a woogling at himself. Izzy is a different entity from me, okay? Different entities. Different entity.
Link in the description, and just for $5 a month, you can get a full-length exclusive video every month. Even if you hate me, it's worth $5 a month just to convince me to, you know, keep trying to kill myself. So it's a win-win for everyone. Like, you should just do it. Now, the rest of the days on the boat were all jiggled together into one long haze. The sun comes up, it's on one side of the boat, and then a little while later it comes down and it's on the other. You wake up, sleep.
I thought Izzy was like your sister or something. What the fuck? No, it's just a female version of my model that my mod created, bro.
Wearing the same clothes you wore for the past 3 days. You try to distract yourself from the fear by, you know, filling up your day.
Oh my god. Dude, this guy he's reading? Oh. Bro doesn't even know the concept of motion sickness. Oh my.
Reading, playing Uno, the boat keeps rocking. Your mate Claudio, the 80-year-old Italian journalist, burns himself on the chimney, so you have to make a warning sign. You cook, you eat, you sing. You try to work out if that new ship on the horizon is going to board you. You wash yourself with the dangly exhaust hose that cools the engine. And then you're told we'll be arriving in
I haven't gotten like any tomorrow art for like over a year. Sheesh.
tomorrow morning. The sun goes down on one side of the boat, and then it comes up on the other. And you wake up on a soggy gym mat in the same clothes you've been wearing for 4 days. And then you're told you're arriving in Cuba tomorrow morning. And the same thing happens the next morning. I honestly started to think maybe we had already been drone struck and we didn't even realize it, right? We were now in purgatory, and this was just our life for all eternity.
Boat.
Then one night, a bunch of tiny islands pop up on the radar, and in the morning, they pop up on the actual horizon. But
Let's
I've been in purgatory
go!
today, so I don't fully believe my eyes.
According to this, not in Cuba yet. No land. I don't trust it. I think the Americans are going to intercept us. It's too exciting. Don't sail towards it. It's a trap.
We decided to climb up on the roof and make sure these Cuban mountains were real.
You know what this place needs? What? KFC.
True. It needs a Walmart Supercenter.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think an Amazon fulfillment center would be nice. Big AI data center.
Yeah.
Unrealized.
And a
potential.
giant American flag. It just needs a huge American flag.
Land is so special to me because it means I get to food, a bed, a shower, ground that doesn't move. Although I had an earthquake like a few days ago. Like that one's not so sure. But bed and shower and toilet definitely gonna happen.
It turns out nothing was definitely going to happen because we just got news that a US ship had just moved to the outskirts of Havana.
You heard about the U.S. ship outside of Havana?
Yeah, I'm telling you, if those Americans stop us, I will lose my mind. They could have stopped us at any point in this trip. They could have stopped us before we all threw up. They could have stopped us before we all spent 3 days in our own sweat and piss.
Sleeping outside on like a wet floor.
But it turns out Cuba is a really, really long country. So that US ship in Havana will have to wait while we just sail along the coast for another 2 days. Until one night at 3 a.m., we saw some lights. It was so weird looking at Havana, like after staring at the sea for days. It dawned on me that we were actually going to make it now, which was a relief, but it was also incredibly sad because Havana's enormous, right? Looking at the size of this city spanning the entire coastline up to the horizon, I couldn't help but be terrified by the concept that there are millions of people in there that are living without the basic necessities of life.
And that's what I was talking about, bro. There are millions of people there, and it's like this trek for them was so hard and so long, and they might have gotten as much like stuff on board as possible, but bro, it ain't even enough. It doesn't even scratch the surface.
I guess at least we made it. This Coast Guard was the first Cuban I spoke to. He asked if I'd been to Cuba before, and when I told him I came 14 years ago, he immediately told me I probably have a 13-year-old kid here. And I was honestly a little bit embarrassed to know that my kid's first impression of me will be this, a guy who looks like absolute shit, but whatever. We made it back to experience this brutal communist dictatorship once again.
To a Jesus.
Well, maybe it's all going to be okay after all.
Yeah.
Dude, he looks fucked, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he looks fucked up.
There's a lot of people there.
You had your doubts, hey?
Yeah, I was so sure I was getting on a boat to nowhere. Oh, what a horrible thought. Just lying there the first time, be like, I'm gonna die.
Oh, llegamos. Llegamos.
I was so excited to finally end the seasickness, but no one told me about the land sickness.
The what?
It's a wobbly land. This is what happens with a destabilized country.
I was so disorientated and
Okay.
thirsty and confused. But one thing I knew for sure is that these Cuban delegates were about to shake hands with the stinkiest people they've ever met.
Yeah, it's gotta smell like shit, bro.
Off the boat.
I feel how disgusting and sticky I am. It's like there's just like a different sense of stickiness. But just like 10 seconds ago, I was like, oh, this is normal. As soon as I get on land, I'm like,
part of the marine
I'm covered in
ecosystem.
gel. I'm like a fucking slug.
I feel more like
Dude, I feel nasty if I don't take a shower every day, bro. That I don't know if I can take it.
Oh, yours is crispy?
Yeah, mine's
wet.
right off.
Mine's so,
Nice, you're going salamander.
Yeah.
Crazy how much your mind ignores when you're on the boat. Like on land, I need a shit so bad. Like my whole body's just fucking. My body hates me right now.
But it turns out we'd have to wait a few more hours before we could do any of that because all these people had come down at sunrise to welcome us.
When do I get to do a poo?
Now, I didn't realize at this point, but we also needed to unload the 30 tons we'd loaded up in Mexico.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't even think about that.
But it was done, and we finally checked into our hotel room. We were staying at Hotel Presidente, one of the many kind of affordable state-run hotels in Havana. Now the special thing about this place is that
Very beautiful from what I thought it would look like. Whoa. Look at this giant ass road, by the way. Whoa.
the US government won't let you stay here if you're a US citizen. You have to go to a private hotel, or else you could face up to a penalty of 10 years in prison and $1 million fine.
What? What? If you stay somewhere they don't want you to stay, you go to prison for a year and are fined $1 million. 10 years, by the way, in prison. 10 years in prison and $1 million. Dude, literal fucking rapists go to prison for less than that.
So I don't have to worry about that. All I need to worry about now is having a shit and a shower. And even though the energy crisis meant that there was no hot water and occasionally there was no water at all, it was still 1,000,000 times better than the boat. And I felt relaxed for like the first time in a week. Until I checked my phone.
You know what the Pentagon's new operation for Latin America is called? Operation Total Extermination.
Brother, what? They called it what? They called... Brother, even Star Wars wasn't evil enough. They just called it like Order fucking 66. What the... They gave up. They gave up. They just said Operation Kill fucking everybody. What?
Operation Doing What the Devil Says. Why would you call it that?
Totally, it's not very diplomatic.
Makes it a little bit scared being here. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Total extermination, but I'm here.
It's just so lame, hey? It's just so obviously just a computer game playing kid.
Yeah.
Has suddenly too much power, you know?
But if I thought the news on my phone was bad,
Jesus
it was
Christ.
even worse on Dan's phone when he tried to access his bank account.
You're blocked from online services because you're in a sanctioned country or region. And then I'm like, oh, well, like I need to buy a sandwich. See details. We are obliged to manage our international sanctions risk.
Ugh.
So you cannot buy a sandwich.
Cannot buy a
so
sandwich.
That a random fucking Australian bank will just like get rid of your account.
Australian bank too, which is crazy.
You do anything here.
You cannot do anything. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'll go and get a VPN thing.
The VPN.
Like, I try to download this one. The App Store is unavailable in the country.
Oh, you got fucked.
Yeah, I can't even VPN. All I want is a sandwich. I'm sanctioned.
That sucks for you, dude.
Why don't you spot me something? Come on.
I got my VPN on time. You gotta look at
You're
it.
complicit in this.
Cuba's a communist country. That's why things are so bad right now. I'm gonna learn from Cuba's mistakes.
You're just sanctioning me as
No,
well.
you know what? I think the value of money to you is actually so much more than it is to me.
You know, the crazy thing is, both him and this guy have come to this exact country. I think it's like 12 to 14 years earlier. So they get the ultimate before and after experience, bro.
I'm gonna loan you the money. If you want $5 now, you have to give me.
Complain about my country economy, then I remember stuff like this is happening in other places. It's not like this is happening in other places and nobody even knows, bro.
In a month.
The amount of millions and millions and millions of people that don't even know that live in the country that is doing this to them is crazy.
Yeah. You have to change. You have to restructure some of this stuff.
A little bit of changes and organize your wallet.
Yeah.
A little bit of financial management.
Now, to be fair, even if Dan was allowed to access his bank account, pretty much all the ATMs are down because of the energy shortages. So since I'm the guy who, took out money before the trip and, I need Dan to hold the camera and not be dead, I decided I won't let him starve for now. But anyway, the rest time was over and we had to find our way to the hospital to hand off all the aid that we brought. So the problem was that the hospital was like 10 kilometers away and it's incredibly difficult to get a taxi with barely any fuel in the country. But luckily, with the help of a world-famous soccer player called Xi Jinping, Cuba set up a factory just outside of Havana pumping out thousands of these electric tuk-tuks, in response to the US cutting off all fuel.
Xi Jinping! Oh, classic GW.
The streets were so empty compared
I'm
to
gonna get arrested for saying that.
15 years ago, and because the fuel blockade made driving nearly impossible, you had to go for all these weaker vehicles that used renewable energy, like, these 2 horsepower tuk-tuks or this 1 horsepower horse. But we finally arrived.
1 horsepower horse. The 1 horsepower
Children's
horse.
hospital that specializes in cardiovascular care, and it honestly felt surreal seeing all this aid reach its destination. And something tells me the nurses couldn't believe it either. For the past couple of months, all I could think about was this flotilla, but somehow the only thing I actually thought about was the flotilla as a political stunt, right? Getting on the boat and exposing to the world that the US is killing people through their blockade of Cuba, and hopefully, inspiring people and governments around the world to take action. But I didn't actually think about the real people that are going to receive the aid that we're bringing. Like, there are children in this hospital whose lives are going to be dramatically affected by this, 30 tons of food, medicine, and solar panels that we filled our little boat with. And honestly, I hadn't thought about the real world impact of that.
Es algo maravilloso. Nos hacía falta. Ay Dios. Ahora yo lo vengo sabiendo desde hace antes lo anunciaron y me despertó ahí.
Gracias a ustedes por venir. Ustedes están haciendo una cosa. Miren, no es solo lo que ustedes aporten. Están arriesgándose, vienen aquí a que después lleguen allá y lo puedan crear problemas, lo quieran meter. Eso es una cosa que no tiene precio. Agradecerles a ustedes lo que están haciendo y nos da un estímulo para seguir que ustedes no se pueden imaginar.
It was actually so nice seeing where all our aid was going, but it felt like a drop in the water. The hospital was running out of everything, from medications to medical machines to simple things like gauze and bandages.
En un hospital del país, donde podamos hablar cualquier país, hacen un reporte o dicen se rompió este equipo y nos viene el privado, dice bueno esta pieza cuesta tanto y al momento se lo pone. En el caso de nosotros no es tan así. Nosotros tenemos que hacer una contratación, ver si no nos está prohibido vendernos al país por el tema del bloqueo. Entonces se encarece todo y se demora mucho más que en cualquier mundo por esta situación. Aquí hacemos cirugía abierta, en este caso, donde necesitan muchos recursos desgastables. Estoy seguro que si no tuviéramos ese bloqueo fuera lo más rápido posible.
Tenemos dinero a veces en los bancos y no podemos utilizarlo porque hay bancos en algunos países que no aceptan transacciones con Cuba.
But lacking supplies and equipment is just like one of the many issues that they have to deal with here.
Simplemente el hecho de no tener combustible para poder bombear agua en una ciudad y tener abastecimiento de agua en un hospital, y sabemos lo que implica eso, es un gran problema de salud, de higiene.
Hay que estar muy atentos al uso de combustible. Por ejemplo, hay un área que no es posible que esté encendida, que es la parte de las consultas y demás, porque el combustible hay que ahorrarlo para la forma general, porque tenemos una terapia intensiva donde hay pacientes gravemente por su estado crítico y es necesario que se mantenga el hospital funcionando para la atención de estos pacientes.
La asfixia del bloqueo no.
But this is like, I still can't believe to this day we're doing like medieval ass tactics, bro. This is some shit that would happen back in the fucking 1500s when you'd block out a city from getting aid because you couldn't penetrate the walls of the city. This is like, I cannot believe after fucking hundreds and hundreds of years we're still doing this bullshit, bro.
No solamente impacta de esa manera, impacta en el personal propiamente que trabaja, personal que viene a trabajar con miles de problemas dejándolos atrás, dificultades inmensas que vienen y que lo hacen a conciencia porque en gran medida lo que les remunera en estos momentos su trabajo no es suficiente dado la crisis que hay para poder garantizar todo lo que necesitan y también va siendo escaso. Realmente se trabaja como si estuviéramos un país en guerra pero sin bombas.
Ella es de provincia. y entonces se van muy lejos y el transporte está difícil, a veces no hay combustible para que se traslade ese paciente.
After seeing it in person, I really don't understand how anyone survived.
That wall is not even. That wall is like has wooden planks or some shit on this. Like what?
That's mean that the doctors
Brother.
have to operate the respirators by hand throughout the night. Like it doesn't make any sense. I can't actually see how they're going to keep this going over the next few days, like let alone months or years. But the wild part is, even in the middle of this crisis, Cuba's still dedicated to making life-saving care available to everyone.
El eco que le han hecho, todos los exámenes, aquí ni un peso tenían los gallos, todo es gratis. Y la atención de los doctores, ¿para qué? Que compensa el mal rato que uno está pasando por la situación de los niños.
Dude, listen to how loud this hospital is, bro. It actually is a crowded hospital.
The fact that they still managed to keep healthcare free during this humanitarian crisis made me feel a little bit hopeful, right? Until I stepped outside and got a taste of reality. It turned out that one of the members of our flotilla, Tiago, had been arrested while flying home on his connecting flight in Panama.
I think the interrogation is so funny when like the entire thing is broadcast.
Oh
almost
man.
live, you know, like what were you doing? It's like, well, there's documented.
Education and health is free and available to everyone, but hard to get because everybody wants it. Yeah. Yup.
The entire time. Yeah.
Right after that, we heard that the other two boats from earlier in the video were meant to arrive today, but they had completely vanished on the high seas.
Just on the phone with the Mexican authorities, they're launching like a search and rescue thing because no one knows where the two sailboats went.
Holy shit.
So they are trying to find them.
But is there a worry that something happened?
We just don't know.
It might just
We
be
just
taking
don't know.
some
But there was literally nothing we could do about either of those things.
Dude, okay, hold on. There's 3 ships that were on the way, and the only ship that made it just so happened to have the fucking YouTuber on it. That's crazy.
But, you know, sit and be scared. So we decided to walk around the hospital, and we bumped into this nice Swiss man, Franco Caval. He happens to be one of the best oncologists in the world. Like this man wrote the textbook on medical oncology.
Damn!
No, it was him. I checked. He's the guy who wrote it. As a world-renowned oncologist,
I checked, it's
he's
him.
particularly upset that Cuba is, blocked off from accessing vital cancer medications that he helped create, right? So he spends much of his free time visiting Cuba and trying to help, but he struggles to find
What
any
if the
European
YouTuber
country.
is a secret evil mastermind?
Dude, I'm telling you, I told you from the beginning, bro. This is he's a spy that works for the U.S. As some like it's gotta be true. That satellite he set up on the boat, it wasn't to back up his stuff. It was to get the info out to the allies, bro.
That dares to do business with Cuba because
what I'm
they're
saying.
so scared of the Americans.
Actinomycin is an important drug in the treatment of many cancers in children. Cuba was buying that in the past. There were worldwide 3 companies producing that. 2 of the companies were bought by the third one.
Isn't that crazy? The guy who invented so many different treatments is the guy that's literally there in fucking person.
It's an American company.
Meanwhile, companies are just like literally like this guy in the image, bro, just pocketing everything.
Children with cancer in Cuba didn't have that drug because the US company didn't sell that. So that's one example, but there are very many.
But it's not just humanitarian doctors like Franco that visit Cuba. Apparently, Western big pharma CEOs are coming here too.
They were a little bit interested because Cuba has an important research part.
Yeah.
And they have developed also a couple of interesting drugs, which were then bought by Western companies. I know from a very important CEO of a very important
All they want is money.
company.
I mean, yes, it is true. A lot of companies that are on the bigger side, all they want is money. But it also doesn't help that America said that if you sell to Cuba, we will literally arrest you for the rest of your life. Like it's just basically against the wall at this point. And other countries, if other countries were to help Cuba, then we will put sanctions on those countries. We will stop trading to those countries. So yeah, it's not even like, even if an individual is a nice guy and wants to help them out, like they just can't, or else they risk literally ruining their entire life, bro.
Who came incognito to Cuba. Nobody was allowed to tell that he was going to see what they are searching for.
So I'm standing there on the street talking to a world-renowned cancer researcher, and he's telling me that,
Dude, it's crazy. Like, there's a world-renowned cancer researcher just on the streets of Cuba, just helping out where he can. why the fuck are we being so nonchalant?
Executives are entering Cuba secretly to like collaborate on research projects without the US government knowing. But I don't know, it's all just kind of like difficult to believe, right?
Having problems with the US. It's true. That's the thing though, is that like the USA can bully literally anybody because they can just say, no, fuck you, I'm going to limit our trade. And then you're basically fucked because we are the main guys. But that's kind of where we fucked up recently, where we put tariffs on literally everybody. So it's encouraged other countries that used to trade with us to just start making it themselves or buy from other people. Mostly China. China finally put their foot down after hundreds of years of us trying to bully them with tariffs. And with the like rare earth material stuff, they finally were like, you know what? Fuck you. We don't actually need you to put your tariffs back. And they were like, wait, hold on. And then we like put it back to where it used to be so that we can get our rare earth minerals, but it already kind of fucked everything. So it is what it is.
You know, it's blocked off from.
Imagine the USA threatening the world with nukes. Dude, that would never fly. I hope you know this. That's called a war crime. If we said that we were going to nuke somebody, like, I'm pretty sure that's grounds for the entire world like, that's the whole point of the UN, is like to make sure everyone stays in check. Like the entire rest of the world would just take over all of the US if we try to do that. And the thing is, that's only if they can get to us before we take over the government, because we ain't fucking listen. We let a lot of things happen in the US because we're a little too scared to rise up against the government. But if we were to be like, yeah, our government's now going to destroy the world because they're fucking stupid, then it's like, okay, now we gotta do something.
Trading with the world. How do they become a biomedical powerhouse?
I don't think they're ever going to do
Insane
that.
Discoveries like, you know, the world's only meningococcal B vaccine, and luring big pharma execs with these breakthroughs. And, you know, all the other Caribbean countries, they're still stuck researching who that guy was who let the dogs out. It just doesn't make sense. So the next day, we decided to visit the Neuroscience Institute to see how it's possible that Cuba's pumping out all these medical breakthroughs under siege.
True.
Now, this institute was on the other side
why are
of
they so
town,
smart?
we were facing the same problem we'd face multiple times a day in Cuba. Finding transportation. Now, after being on land for so long, I was honestly missing the diesel fumes of the boat engine, so I decided to splurge and get a real petrol taxi
Did
to
they
take us
try
to the
blowing
institute.
it up?
Dude, they did.
And we're going there with our mate Daniel. He's a Cuban journalist working for the
Oh, USA gets a government that cares about the rest of. I have no idea. All I know is that most people that are in the government are already pretty bad. Like, if you can get up that high in the government, doesn't want to go to World War III. I don't even know who the next candidates are even going to look like, bro.
Independent media outlet Belly of the Beast. They do awesome documentaries.
I just hope we can get somebody that isn't 80 billion years old. Can we get some guy that's actually like 50 or something?
And on the ground
That's what I
reporting in a
want.
place that's always like so saturated with fake news from mainstream media. So you can check him out in the video description. Now, Daniel joined our project as a producer, which is, you know, a stressful job at the best of times, but he was also doing it under the constant threat of being bombed by a foreign country.
Realizing that your future, the future of those around you, ends up depending on, you know, individual decisions of people that, in all honesty, couldn't give two shits about any of you.
Yeah.
It's daunting.
Yeah. Sounds terrifying.
The idea of violence and the idea of an armed invasion running through my mind. You know, I keep having nightmares about it.
Yeah.
They start bombing, I'm dead. A lot of people are aware that this is a real possibility.
And the thing is, I'm going to bring it up again like I have 10 times already. One of the world-renowned, like, researchers of cancer who's made multiple breakthroughs is on the ground in Cuba right now. If we did a ground invasion or started bombing Cuba and he just dies, like, brother, the US wouldn't fucking give two shits. And what are we doing here? I mean, I understand that every life is worthful. Like, it's worth not doing that to. But still, it's like, nobody fucking knows he's there. Like, no, like, we have so many of us that are there, you know?
And those
I say hi, you can welcome in.
thinking it like that. Like, there's not a single one that would say, hey, yeah, sure, they should bomb Havana. Like, you know, that's not a thing. Like, you could find someone that tells you, sure, I hope the government changes, right? But bombs and bullets, they have no names. You know, once the shooting starts, no one's, you know, stopping and say, oh, let's see if this guy was a communist.
after that fun chat.
Yeah,
we
that was exactly my point. They're just gonna fucking start bombing everybody. It doesn't matter.
They got the Neuroscience Institute to meet up with Dr.
Cuba's literally 90 miles from Florida, bro. I know.
Mitchell Valdez Sosa.
Don't panic if there's a power cut.
Okay.
The elevator will have no problem, and we'll just wait.
We can do the interview in the elevator.
All right, yeah.
Perfect.
This was the very first medical equipment
They
manufactured.
could easily invade Cuba. They probably could, but the fact is, they're doing this sanction thing, so they obviously have something that they gotta worry about. Like, they can't just take it over, apparently. Or else they would have done it already.
Turns out Cuba became a research hub thanks to this computer and a guy called Erwin Roy John, the father of quantitative electroencephalography and neurometrics. And look, I don't know what that means, but I was standing in front of a world-renowned scientist, so I just nodded along, right? Now, Erwin Roy John wasn't a fan of Big Pharma, and he was a massive fan of Cuba's universal healthcare system because, you know, he's interested in treating people and not just making products for a company to sell to the highest bidder. So he wanted to do his research.
1 hour invasion, Cuba is cooked. But what do you get out of that, bro? Like, the thing is, you make it sound so easy. I just don't think it really would be that easy. You gotta understand something, is that they could take out a government in an hour, sure. But you cannot take out a country with 10 million people that hate your guts in 1 hour. Like, if American soldiers were to land on the ground, like, even if they took out the military of Cuba, there is always going to be revolutionists. Like exactly what happened when the Cuba won its own civil war way back then. It was literally a group of 10 revolutionists that originally were losing, but because so many people hated the dictator of Cuba, they just got thousands of people to join them in this revolution, and then they just won. Yeah. Sure, they could fucking do bombing runs, but then, like, once again, you're just left with a fucking barren wasteland, and everybody, it just, like, nobody wants that other than horrible people.
Yeah.
Irving Roy John was fired up.
That we could also just fucking ignore them. We could actually just, here's a plan. We just be nice to Cuba, and we have a nice relationship. Am I crazy? Can we not just let Cuba be Cuba? You could just be peaceful. Yeah, I don't understand. Why can't we just be peaceful with them? They obviously are making crazy amounts of breakthroughs. They aren't like a bad government. Like they're pretty okay. They're obviously selling us great amounts of stuff. I don't get it.
And he said, I'm going
Why
to
do we
bring
have to be assholes to them?
Some computers with my software for studying the electrical activity of the brains. Of course, when he asked, for the permit, whatever, to export it, they said, oops, that's trading with the enemy. In the meantime, Fidel had talked to the university.
Venezuela was just Venezuela, but they got a dictator. Yeah, I have a lot of coworkers and some friends that used to live in Venezuela, and then they escaped to America because of how bad Maduro was. So they were also very excited that Maduro was taken out, but then again, his government, like his side of the government wasn't really taken out. It was just him. So like, it didn't change a whole lot about their government. They just got rid of him as kind of like an example in a way. So there is some people, like there is a good that can happen by the fact that Maduro is gone, but I just don't know. America does not do good things for no reason. You know what I mean?
Professors and asked them, you guys can make a computer. Said,
the point that he made in here is there might be other reasons why they did that thing in Venezuela, but one of the big thing is after they did that in Venezuela, Venezuela stopped selling oil to Cuba, which is one of the big reasons why Cuba is struggling right now. So that could have been one of the big reasons why they did that, was to make an example out of him of, hey, stop selling to Cuba. And now they aren't selling to Cuba anymore.
Yeah, and looking at the user's manual, they started deducing if this does this.
I just don't know why they fucking hate Cuba. I mean, maybe Cuba said stopped selling to the US and that's what made him so pissed. I just don't understand why we got to do all this to them.
It has to work in this way in the inside, on the plane. When Roy returned, ashamed. I wasn't able to convince the U.S. government.
It's got to be some kind of fucking pride thing, because we used to own Cuba for like 50 years or something. Isn't Cuba communist? That might be the reason. We do have... That is one of the big reasons that America does most things.
Nope, we have our own computer.
And that was how the Neuroscience Institute was started. Now, the research Erwin Roy John did here...
Hold on. I bet if I looked it up, I'd get the answer. Why does the U.S. hate Cuba? Hold on. Oh yeah. Fidel Castro, who that was the guy I was talking about. Who he was the guy that took back the government away from the dictator. It was in 1959. He was Soviet aligned communist. So he was a communist. So they are communist technically. Well, there's that. It literally is just that. He became a dictator? Did Fidel Castro become a dictator? I don't know if he did. All I know is that I thought they were better off than they were with that dictatorship. Now, I mean, obviously right now they're not, because we have a sanction on them, but you know.
Breakthroughs like this. And trust me, I Googled it. Like, I don't fully understand it, but they're definitely breakthroughs. And in Cuba, these insights were used to test every child in the country for neurological disorders like epilepsy for free. And in the US, these same breakthroughs are used to, charge parents upwards of $22,000 if they want to know their kid has epilepsy. So it's no wonder Roy John opted to do his world-renowned research in Cuba, even though he knew full well that he would be blacklisted by the US government for doing it. Cuba is the only country in the world that had to develop everything themselves. From the ventilators that saved countless lives during COVID to screening devices for newborns and hearing aids, which by all accounts should be almost impossible to do. Like even in a country like the US, right? One of the biggest biomed industries in the world, they still rely heavily on global supply chains for...
Hey, Mika, come here. Are you yelling at Sage? Are you allowed to do that? No.
For all their medical treatments, right?
No, yelling at Sage.
Without accessing the things that the
pay attention to the video, Mika. This is important stuff.
Cuba from the world
this is important stuff, Mika. It's important. You gotta write this down.
There are people that feel, they're blackout. People that feel.
It's also cruel to everyday Americans who can't access any of Cuba's medical breakthroughs, such as, treating early onset Alzheimer's or healing.
My president is a Trump fanboy. I don't know. Here's the thing. You never know if somebody is a Trump fanboy or is just afraid of going against them. That's the thing. Most people probably don't like him, but they just are better off they're better off liking him, or saying that they like him.
Diabetic ulcers without having to...
They're better off just kissing his foot. He is a Trump fanboy? Okay, that's different. That's different.
Which affects you. No, the person watching this, it affects you directly.
Oh.
Like, you've been sitting here watching it for over an hour now, and
yeah,
that means
14.
that you're much, much more likely to develop type 2 diabetes.
Oh, man.
Thousands of amputations in the U.S. and all over the world. The cooperation between the U.S. and Cuba could save, from amputation, dozens of thousands of people a year.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If Cuba's making all these breakthroughs, why don't we give them a fucking break? Can we just give them a break? There's so many intelligent, smart people here, bro. Can we just be like, you know what? We went too far. Sorry, Cuba.
There's no right to harm a country, but you're also harming your own people. It's absurd. It's absurd.
This US policy of suffocation only really has one explanation.
They don't like the Cuban example. This is fractions of a cent. We provide...
True! We would have sold that for thousands of dollars!
With medicines at extremely low prices. In the US, the whole pharmaceutical industry is profit-driven. And this is the gigantic...
Oh my god, dude. I had a smart person explain... Like, I heard a smart person explanation of how the pharmaceutical side of US works. And it's actually diabolical, bro. Let me give you a quick rundown, okay? So, a guy who makes a medicine goes, oh, I can make this medicine for $5 a pill or something like that. So you get 30 pills, which is like, what, $150 or something. And it's like, actually, if we make it in bulk like that, we could probably make the whole thing for $100. So it's like, okay, it's $100. Now, this isn't like real world. Usually, it's actually a lot cheaper than this. It's actually really cheap to make medicines most of the time. And then they give it to the distributor. And the distributor is actually allowed to say, anything they want because the distributor works directly in cahoots or partnership with the insurance company. So basically, the insurance company comes over and it's like, okay, what should we price this at? And the guy goes, okay, if you give me 90% off, then I can put this medicine at $1,000. Okay. So this medicine now suddenly becomes $1,000 and the insurance company can say, oh, you only have to pay $100 of this, you know? So to the people that own insurance, you know, it's very cheap. People that don't own insurance, it's very, very expensive. And no matter what, whether you have insurance or not, both the people that set the prices, the distributors, the people who make the medicine, and the insurance company all get giant paychecks because if you don't have insurance, you directly paid them that amount. If you do have insurance, you paid it to them through your paycheck every single week. They literally get to say whatever they want for the price, and nobody can say anything about it. Nobody can say anything about it, bro. It literally happens like that every time. Hold on, my mom just texted me. Hold on. What the helly? What is that? She just sent me a picture of a random object and it said, "This yours?" question mark. I have no idea what the hell that is. What is that? It looks like a portable charger. I don't recognize. So no. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's a really strange object. Yeah, that's basically the rundown of insurance companies and shit. Which is kind of why the Luigi Mangione thing happened. That's like the whole like thing. It's just like, oh, insurance companies are the real bad thing. If you have a big dental problem and economic problems, let me know. I can get you hooked with some cool dentist over here. Let's go to Argentina. Let's go. Argentina mentioned. Is there any cool places in Argentina to go? I'd be down.
Big lobby. So this example of socializing.
Unless we go to war with them. Insurance companies are a legalized scam. They literally are, bro. Here, let me pay you a portion of my paycheck every single time I have a paycheck, okay? And also, I'm going to keep doing this for the rest of my life. And then when I need it, when I need you to pay for something, there's a small chance you could just say no. Oh, you could just say no. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I didn't know that. And also, the amount of money I pay to the insurance company might not automatically give me, I might not make any of that money back. One of the best places in the world. We have everything you could want. Everything I could want. I was gonna make a joke and say Latinas, but low key, that's literally. I was gonna make that bit, and then I realized that does work. That does actually work in that stance.
Medicine.
We do have tons. Let's go.
Ideas. And they don't like the Cuban example.
The US has been doing this for the past 60 years, and it's crazy to think that these doctors and researchers are still making scientific advancements with like an economic blockade and rolling blackouts. And we were about to experience a really big one that night while we were having beers with our 80-year-old friend Claudio at the hotel.
Big booty Latinas, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, hi, Mouse, welcome in.
It was pretty freaky, but sadly this was business as usual for the Cubans, and everyone was ready with emergency torches and emergency orchestral instruments.
Is someone just playing the flute outside in the middle of the blackout?
Wait, that's awesome.
Oh, there's a car coming.
You can always take our power, but you can't take our Cuban pride.
This would be so creepy if it wasn't for the flautist.
Dude, the flute is crazy.
Even more prepared than the flute player, and they have their own backup generators.
Really? Our key cards. Oh, there we go. Hey, nice. I was wondering if our key cards will open the lock to the door.
Now, we've never been in a citywide blackout before, so we took this opportunity to scope it out.
Oh.
Occasionally, you'll stumble upon a private business that managed to get a backup generator going, but generally it was just pitch black. Like, I can't imagine going through this multiple days a week. I mean, we barely found our way home in the dark. But we woke up to some even worse news the next morning. Our two boats
That does make sense why they were hauling solar panels on the boat.
were still missing.
It's quite scary. And then you
Dude,
think
the other two boats are still missing?
all
Fuck.
those songs we were singing.
About dying at sea. Yeah.
Shit, bro.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I hope they're okay.
Yeah, and I think the thing that kind of got me today is that they did a search and there was no one. Oh, there's nothing we can really do.
Yeah.
We'll just wait and see and hopefully they come down to that harbour over there.
Yeah.
To the end of this street, and we go give them big hugs.
Now, to get our mind off of our potentially dead friends, we decided to, talk to some people whose lives were comparatively worse to make us feel better. So we went to Centro Havana, one of the poorest parts of the city, to see how everyday people were living under the blockade. We thought the best place to start was at the Community Medical Center to speak to Dr. Roxana. She agreed to chat
smart.
with us about how the community was dealing with the blockade, but I also realized I had an
Brother,
opportunity to get
this
free
looks
help.
like the fact that this is worse than like your elementary school nurse's office is it's so saddening.
So I wanted to get that sorted first.
Usted pregunte y aquí estamos para aclarar todas sus dudas y...
Primero tengo una tos.
Roxana, dile la verdad. Dile que tiempo le queda.
Si es algo serio.
So apparently there's one of these community clinics every couple of blocks in Cuba, and they're
Wow.
actually community doctors, right? They spend half their day in the clinic like a normal GP, then they spend the rest of their day going around doing routine checkups at people's houses. So your
Whoa.
average Cuban will have a GP visit them every 2 weeks for checkups, not just when they're sick, but like all the time.
That's
Just saying, you've got so much money
crazy.
and resources, but you'll never, ever get that amount of attention from a doctor. Like, I'm lucky if I get 5 minutes with a GP when I'm sick, let alone if I feel perfectly fine.
Yo tuve un problema en Australia hace 20 años. Yo fui enfermo cada vez y no sé por qué. Y fui al doctor y hacemos muchos investigaciones. Pero el problema fue que yo no he lavado mis manos por un año. Y por eso fue enfermo cada vez. Pero
Dude, his Spanish is low key goated. I didn't know that bro spoke so much Spanish. There's so much Espanol.
Por eso es fundamental, o sea, tienes que ver al paciente íntegramente con todo. Lo tienes que ver con todo, porque hay enfermedades psicológicas que te afectan orgánicamente, hay enfermedades orgánicas que te descompensan la parte psicológica. Hay la higiene es fundamental para todas las demás enfermedades. Entonces todo tú lo tienes que ver todo en conjunto, que es la base de todo el sistema nacional de salud.
I was honestly amazed by the Cuban health system, and frankly, I found it embarrassing that a country with nothing can offer their citizens much more than a rich country like
Brother, I'm flabbergasted, bro. That a play, like he's saying, bro. This is 10 times better than the American health system by a fucking long shot.
But this phone call that interrupted us was an instant reminder of the reality of what they're going through under the blockade.
Ya lo que tenía los di, ahora mismo le di al último una enfermera ahí del policlínico. Tenía.
Just like the hospitals, there were barely any medical supplies left in the country, and everyone's just trying their best to get a hold of some.
Unos días la semana que viene a ver.
We decided to follow Roxana around that day while she did her house visit, so we
Just
could get a
without
better
resources.
feel of how.
I mean, the best they can do at this point is just keep everybody hygienic, because like if they actually get sick, like they can't do anything past that point. Brother,
Our regular Cubans are
Jesus,
dealing with
bro.
the unfolding humanitarian crisis. The first patient was Glenda, a 79-year-old woman who was diagnosed with diabetes. And after her checkup, she agreed to chat with us about, how she's been dealing with the blackouts.
Es posible saber cuándo no vas a tener
Hay veces sí, hay veces no. La mayor parte de las veces la empresa eléctrica no puede pronosticar porque no sabe.
Sí, sí. Pero para mí es muy difícil aprender cómo funciona todo.
No, lo difícil es saber por qué no reímos todavía.
Pero sería difícil todo, por ejemplo, si no hay corriente.
I will say it's seeing them react to it and laugh about it is kind of the same way how most Americans just think about, oh great, our government's doing some bullshit again, and then we have to fucking laugh it off because what else can you possibly do? Because you have no options, bro. We can't do fucking anything.
¿Cómo se cocina la cena?
Exactamente. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que hacemos nosotros? Cuando viene la corriente, hay que levantarse a resolver ese problema. Hacer los frijoles, esto, lo otro, para que sea nada más.
Y eso puede ser a las 3 por la noche.
A las 3 de la mañana,
Mañana,
puede ser cuando sea.
Latin Americans are always super positive in general. That's true. Dare I say most... I mean, I can't say for certain because, you know, I don't do my own research on it, but I feel like more Americans are depressed about their life despite having a better living condition than most people in, like, this part of the world that have, you know, no fucking resources and no, like, you know, rolling blackouts and shit, bro. No electricity, barely any hygiene, like, and yet they're happier.
Entonces, esa es otra. Por ejemplo, para lavar hay que tener en cuenta, uno, que hay agua. Porque aunque haya agua en la cisterna, si no hay electricidad, para poder impulsarla. Dos, que el motor sirva, porque esa es la otra historia. Y tres, que hay electricidad. Hay que conjugar las tres cosas. Y a veces, no. El otro día estuve 2 días con la lavadora de ropa sin poder lavar.
It turns out Glenda was 13 years old when the revolution happened, and because she knew how to read and write as a teenager, she volunteered to go teach in the countryside as part of this, you know, sudden nationwide push to eliminate illiteracy. And what she saw in the Cuban countryside in 1960 broke her.
Y ahí me di cuenta qué cosa era realmente el capitalismo. Por los campesinos sin ropa, los niños con las barrigas llenas de parásitos. La situación de tan grave que había.
Good night, Nandabs. Thank you for coming in.
Es donde yo alfabeticé, que ahí la situación era morirse de hambre. Era la realidad que se vivía en ese momento. A mí se me murió en los brazos un niño de 2 años por asma. Eso fue un golpe para mí tremendo. O sea, yo tengo eso grabado en mi mente. A mí no hay que me haga cuento de que buenos son los americanos, ¿no? Ni el capitalismo, mentira. Eso es cuento.
I noticed this weird souvenir clock she had on her wall as well, and it turns out she's experienced capitalism more than once. In 2009, the South African government was giving out flights to people who wanted to volunteer in local communities, and she obviously jumped at the rare opportunity to, you know, see the world that she'd been locked out of.
Pero date cuenta que en Sudáfrica yo fui a una comunidad que tenía 500.000 personas viviendo en Casucha, con las mínimas condiciones. Increíble eso, era algo. Y uno de los problemas que tenían ellos más complicado era que no sabían cómo enterrar a los muertos, porque era muy caro. Y entonces las comunidades tenían un consejo que tú tenías que pagar todos los meses para cuando te murieras, te pagaban el entierro. Y entonces cuando yo dije allí, ay, pero si el entierro en mi país es gratis, dice, ¿cómo que es gratis? Yo decía, es gratis, dice, no, aquí no, es horrible. No sé allá en Australia cómo será.
Se puede sacar, ¿cómo se dice? Insurance, seguro.
Seguro.
Sí, puedes sacar seguro para cuando fue. Eso es algo popular, ¿no? ¿Sabe? Hay comerciales en televisión.
Pero muy caro.
Tienes que sacar seguro para morir. Eso no existe aquí.
No. Esto es bueno. Aquí todo es gratis.
Me voy a Cuba cuando quiero morir.
Especially, well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know. I had no idea you speak so well, bro. He's very, very well spoken. I really understand. The thing is, I understand him because I took 3 years of Spanish in high school, and I was really bad at it. But the way a lot of Spanish speakers talk so fast. Their words are so close together, I really can't understand them, even when they use words that I learned. The way he's talking is kind of like a Spanish speaker talks, where they talk, you know, very normal and very fast, but I can hear his words, bro. We gotta do some Spanish. I barely know much Spanish, but I do know some of the words he's saying. He's like hitting me with some of the words. I'm gonna invite you to my Spanish classes. No way.
Hopefully one day I get to come back and take her up on the coffee, but I mean, getting to Cuba wasn't easy. And when I turned on the TV that night, it felt like getting to Cuba was almost impossible. Like, our missing boats were primetime news in Cuba, and we were starting to get really worried for our friends.
Fuck.
But being scared for your friends and family is just a taste of the daily lives of Cuban people who, you know, they're either facing starvation or like a full-on invasion. Like the next news story was about university students training to defend themselves when the US invades. Like, there isn't a single part of these people's lives that isn't affected by the blockade. Like, from the simplest things, like garbage trucks struggling to get, you know, the few drops of fuel left in the country so the streets overflow with rubbish, to completely empty tourist centers. Like,
whoa,
nothing
dude, that's beautiful. Holy.
is coming into this country. But in the middle of all this, the weird part is that life somehow goes on. Like, the country's slowly suffocating, right? They're facing a humanitarian crisis on the horizon, but everyone's just trying their best to live their lives in any way they can. Like, I spoke to so many people during this trip, and obviously the video is already enormous, so I had to cut a bunch of stuff. But if you want to see the full uncut conversations with everyday Cubans, jump on the Patreon because I'll be uploading all of them there. But the same thing happened in all these conversations, right? I kept trying to do the maths. Like, if the average salary is like $20 a month and a bag of rice costs, you know, $12, how is it possible that anyone's surviving? And I asked this question to every Cuban I met, and every person had pretty much exactly the same answer. They all told me that they had no idea either. It's crazy. Like, a couple of days later, we found out
$20 a month. Oh my god, that's fucking crazy.
Our friends weren't dead, which is, you know, it's a
his friends aren't dead.
And the rest of our humanitarian aid made it to Cuba. And obviously the Cubans were ecstatic that, you know, someone out there cares about what's going on. But the reality is that what's on those tiny little boats can only go so far. Like, things are getting really, really bad in Cuba. Like, people are dying, and everyone else is just living on borrowed time. And this was the point of the blockade for the past 60 years. When enough people starve to death, the Cubans won't have many options left, right? They'll get desperate.
That was, yeah, that literally was what that document said.
And they'll eventually dismantle the socialist system they've built. I mean, unless the US gets bored of waiting and invades them first. But either way, you know, the mafia will get their
Oops, my bad.
cities back, the plantation owners will get their slaves back, and the US will get their sugar companies back. And
that's the whole point.
They can look forward to the coming.
Why buy sugar from a country when you can simply own the country?
Just like all the
and
other
then it's all
capitalist third world
free.
countries around them, like Haiti and Dominica, or even Puerto Rico, right? Which is actually part of the US, but they haven't had a functioning electricity grid for the past 9 years anyway. Like, these countries experience some of the worst living standards in the world, and their lives are about to get much worse because the US recently kicked all the Cuban doctors out of the third world as part of the blockade. So I guess Haiti doesn't have any healthcare now either, and it made me think about all these places from, you know, Haiti to Somalia, where people can't afford food and everyone's slowly starving to death. In all these places, it's kind of really hard to even work out where to start, right? Like, how do you fix this? Who's going to invest? What would they even build there? Is it going to go to the right people, right? But the tragedy of Cuba is that they've already set everything up on their own. You know, they got world-class healthcare, they've got the infrastructure and the know-how. Like, the only thing we need to do is just stop fucking with them, you know? Like, literally the only thing the world needs to do is just treat them how we treat any other country in the world, right? Let them buy food, let them buy fuel, let them buy medicine. Just let them sell stuff. I don't know, we just need to be normal. At this point in the video, you know, I'd usually provide a link, right? Like, I want to share a fundraiser for Progressive International that's planning to bring more aid boats to Cuba, but the US has sanctioned them too. So honestly, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't usually say this, but I'm completely out of ideas. It's up to you guys. Like, you need to do everything you can to stop your governments from killing these people.
Oh, the stare? Wow. Beautiful video. Bro only cooks. He only ever cooks on his videos, dude. Holy. Jesus, bro. Anyways, I think we should send $20 billion more to Israel. What if we just sent $20 billion to Israel instead? I think that's the... Yeah, I think that's the next best step. What do we think? What do we think, chat? I think that's a good step right there. That's a good step. How about 67 billion? Ban that guy. Here, let me show you. There's I really. Oh yeah, here's one of his good videos. I really like this video from 2 years ago. Hold on, this one's not that long. Let me show you this one.
So
Oh wait, I said this one's not like that long. This one is pretty long. Never mind.
Last month, we were on a flight with fellow Aussie YouTuber Friendly Geordie.
I think
Just
this
a
one is like one of the crazier ones they did.
completely normal domestic flight, just regular old takeoff, and you're the landing. You know, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, until we were, pulled off the plane by federal police.
If you are on board, just make your way forward to the front of the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I just wanted to have a chat to you in relation to the incident where you guys were up at Point Gap.
Yeah.
The remote Pine Gap spy station,
a collection of domes in the desert, a place very few Australians know much about at all.
The most powerful American intelligence facility outside of the United States.
No, close the gate, close it. No, stop.
This is by far the scariest video we've ever made. We teamed up with
Well, it was until the most recent video they posted, but that's okay.
to sneak into Pine Gap, which is one of the CIA's most important spy bases. But before we get into that, the most obvious question is, what is this giant American base doing on the other side of the world in the middle of Australia?
Great question.
Well, first off, it shouldn't be controversial to say the CIA wants to control the world, right? Like, surely there's no one out there who thinks they're not doing that. They've got the most advanced satellites in the world and they're sucking up everyone's information, which, good on you, but they've got a big problem, right? And I'll explain it to you over there. All right, so let's pretend this globe here is planet Earth, and then
Let's
this
pretend.
can of toxic industrial lubricant is a satellite. So these satellites are flying all around Earth, just booming their signals down. But the issue with the Americans, right, is that they've got spy bases here. They can only access satellites up here. They've got no access to the ones down here.
Yeah.
But
Makes
if
sense.
they were to build a satellite base in a foreign country like Australia,
Foreign country?
they've got access to all the satellite signals coming down here. Pretty clever, right? So if they wanted to, send a missile into a wedding in, let's say, in Iraq, or if they wanted to, eavesdrop on conversation. If they wanted to eavesdrop on conversations down in Madagascar, they just do it through Pine Gap. Now, thanks to some average-looking whistleblowers like Edward Snowden and much...
Get some cool... Why is it spinning? Because the world keeps spinning. Let's be honest. Top 10 places to visit Argentina travel guide. You know what? One day I'll go. Depending on how expensive it is and how hard it is to get there, of course.
Hotter ones like Christopher Boyce, we have access to all these leaked documents exposing the inner workings of Pine Gap. Now get this. The base is codenamed Rainfall, and it's part of a top-secret international spy infrastructure called Five Eyes. These CIA guys are literally out here laughing as Bond villains.
We are not Cuba. Well, you never know. The U.S. might get bored and move on to the next country. It happens. It happens a lot.
So embarrassing to read. But thanks to these documents, we know all about Pine Gap. We know
Don't
about
say that. Listen. You never know.
And how important they are to the US, but you don't really need to read these. Unless you're a YouTuber and you want to look smart, these leaks are redundant. See, the American government is so proud of its surveillance of the whole world that their CIA...
I'm happy with my crazy ass cap. Oh wait, no, yeah, you guys are capitalists, and you guys have a Trump-loving president, so you should be fine.
About it at every opportunity.
No,
anyway.
you should be fine.
The Pine Gap satellites are the most sophisticated pieces of military hardware ever created by the United States government. They are very, very effective at intercepting signals, and the person on the other side, of course, can hear that person as clearly as you can hear me speaking in front
Thanks,
of you today.
bro. I don't want to starve.
So
no,
who's
you're right.
using
You're right.
that communication
Argentina
signal? Is it Saddam
mentioned.
Hussein talking to his generals, or is it mom and dad talking to their kids?
Now, you may think it's weird.
I always love this part, bro. I always love this part because what the fuck do you mean that this crazy-eyed man just straight up admits the fact that they can spy on anybody? Watch this.
Hardware ever created by the United States government. They are very, very effective at intercepting signals, and the person on the other side, of course, can hear that person as clearly as you can hear me speaking in front of you today. So who's using that communication signal? Is it Saddam Hussein talking to his generals, or is it mom and dad talking to their kids?
Now, you may think it's weird that
bro, we did not...
a CIA agent is admitting to a room full of people that he actively spies on their conversations with their kids.
Yeah. A fucking CIA agent. That looks, by the way, fucking insane. He looks psychopathic. Just straight up. Oh my God,
Rest
I love
assured,
this.
The kind of people who attend CIA lectures are the kind of people whose grandkids stopped speaking to them years ago. And will probably forget everything in this lecture in an hour once their bingo game starts.
Has anybody here been involved in weapons testing? Few hands up.
Nobody put their hands up.
For all the nerds out there, this guy right here is technically an NSA agent, not a CIA agent. But for the rest of this video, when I say CIA, I mean CIA, DIA, NSA, NRO, and every other US intelligence institution. I feel like I'm in the laundry aisle whenever I talk about the US government's monstrous global surveillance apparatus. For the rest of this video, Ultra Oxy, Free and Gentle, Original, Downey, it's all the CIA. We're talking about US spy bases here. But Pine Gap wasn't always this hub for global surveillance. For 75,000 years, this place was the home of Indigenous Australians, who are planet Earth's oldest human civilization. And then white people showed up.
Classic, bro. It's always the fucking Europeans that get there first.
They kind of came out of nowhere 200 years ago and genocided the original Australians, which conveniently made the outback a lot more spacious and offered some much needed privacy for civilized games of croquet or maybe a massive secret CIA base. So, with the traditional owners of the land out of the way, everything was going well for the CIA in Australia. Until the 60s, when all these people inexplicably started dyeing their clothes and doing acid and making weird noises.
Classic hippies.
But the one thing these hippies did, which wasn't, super annoying, was they decided they don't really like the idea of a shadowy organization that wants to spy on you and control the world. And in Australia, this meant there were constant protests and waves of people trying to break into this giant American spy base in the middle of the outback. But let's be real, no one cares what thousands of hippies have to say. Like, the real issue for the CIA came in the 70s when we elected a new leader, a guy called Gough Whitlam. Now, he was super unique. Firstly, because his name's Gough. Like, what the fuck is that? I've never met a guy called Gough. You've definitely never met a guy called Gough. Wikipedia doesn't show any other mentions of another person.
Dude, I would say the same, but low-key, one of the chatters that chats in all of the VTuber siblings chats has a name called Gough. Spelled differently, though.
Person with the first name Gough. It's just a crazy, made-up name that'll never, ever exist ever again. But the other thing that made him unique is that he wanted an independent Australia that wasn't going to be bullied by foreign superpowers. He pulled Australian troops out of Vietnam, and the Americans were like, "What the fuck are you doing, Gough? I thought we had something special. Remember that time we got all those children and burnt them alive? Why are you turning your back on all these fun times we had?" And like a classic toxic boyfriend, the CIA started bugging Australian Parliament and surveilling Gough's party. And when Gough found out, he responded by threatening to close Pine Gap. And this was a step too far for the Americans. The CIA saw Gough as a serious threat, so they simply orchestrated a coup to get rid of the democratically elected leader of
Very
Australia.
simple.
So how did the Americans get rid of our Prime Minister? Well, it turns out there's this completely symbolic position in Australian government called the Governor General. It's a bullshit remnant of the English monarchy, an unelected person whose only job is to dress like a fucking idiot and rubber stamp everything that the Parliament votes on. So a guy called John Kerr was the Governor General at the time, and
John Kerr. A guy named John Kerr, bro.
he was also secretly working for the Americans. The CIA called him Our Man Kerr. They were paying for all his travel and generally showering him with money so he could, buy as many stupid hats as he wanted. And even more coincidentally, it turned out there was this dusty old law that said the Governor General has the power to dismiss the Prime Minister. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, this has never ever happened before. The CIA essentially terminated the democratically elected leader of Australia.
The Prime Minister, Mr. Whitlam, has been sacked. The opposition leader, Mr. Fraser, is the new Prime Minister of Australia.
He was replaced with a more subservient Prime Minister who immediately renewed Pine Gap's contract, and no leader ever since has dared to question all the secret CIA bases spread across our country. Now, we all know about the Americans and their little hobby of getting rid of democratically elected leaders in enemy countries in the third world.
Small hobby.
But it turns out they do this to their friends too. We accepted that our island was just a giant US military base and no form of democracy would ever get in the way of that. And by the way, calling Australia a giant US military base isn't an exaggeration. These top secret American bases are literally everywhere. Like this fucking thing. What the fuck is this? It's even more secretive than Pine Gap. They're the tallest man-made structures in the Southern Hemisphere, but we have no idea what they're doing. All we know is that every now and then when a passenger plane flies near it, it mysteriously malfunctions and suddenly plunges to the ground, prompting the International Pilots Association to say, well, we don't know what the American military is doing there, and we don't want to know, but we'd like our planes not to fly there anymore.
Yup.
Now look, all of you know that we're obviously very patriotic, true blue Australians, and unlike this weak and cowardly and pathetic International Pilots Association who choose to just ignore the problem, we think we deserve to know what's going on in our own country, right? So, obviously we don't have any experience sneaking into a CIA base, let alone the most important one. So we decided to speak to a lovely lady called Donna. a member of a group called Christians Against All Terrorism, who somehow managed to sneak into the base back in 2006.
So how did you actually get into
Well, we weren't great. Like, we're not sleuths. I've never broken into anything before. We kind of didn't know what to do. So one of our crew went to Bunnings and bought bolt cutters. And it was all on camera and everything, and later came out in court. The Bunnings guy testified that Brian went and bought these bolt cutters.
Waterboarding some poor Bunnings employee to get this information out of him. Now, Donna explained to us that one of the ways we justify having a brutal top secret CIA base in the middle of Australia is by technically calling it a US-Australian joint defence facility. So while it's run entirely by the CIA, apparently Australians are meant to have some kind of like symbolic role in it as well.
Are there any Australian staff working at Pine Gap?
Yeah, there are. Cleaners, catering. I don't think they're in charge.
Now, Donna obviously couldn't just drive through the front gate, so they set out on a 6-hour trek in the middle of the night over desert mountains to get in this way. But the weirdest part is that they told the Defence Minister the exact night they were planning to sneak in. They said that they were Aussie citizens who were concerned about war crimes, and they wanted to do a citizen's inspection of this foreign facility on Australian soil. But for some reason, no one took them seriously.
We fell over, we hit fences, we bumped into trails, like walking in the dark. There were cows who started mooing at us, like, shh, 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 you know. And I thought, oh, this is just ridiculous, like, this is pretty crazy. And then I saw lights, and it really strikes you. Yeah. Then I walked closer, and I could see the base, and I could see little people walking around. And
See the balls.
I won't swear. Yeah. Far out. I'm not crazy. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I am right.
She got to see the balls, bro.
It's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. There's people walking around this American spy base in the middle of the desert. What are they doing at 3 or 4 in the morning? And then we heard this, drop the bolt cutters. On both sides, there was AFP with guns. Get on the ground, get on the ground. I was like, you know what? I've been walking for 6 hours. I said, if I get on the ground, I am not getting up again. I said, I am so sore. She came behind me and kind of got the back of my head and pushed me to my knees. And I said, okay, all right, I can be on my knees. And then she got her boot and put it into my back, and I was like on the ground like this. And I said, you don't have to, put your boot in. You don't have to yell at me. I said, you're the ones with the guns.
Now, she may have had secret police standing on her neck, which, doesn't sound like fun, but
She's smiling in the picture. Bro, everybody is so frowny, but she's just so happy.
I'm actually incredibly jealous that she's one of the only Australians to have ever seen the Pine Gap balls with their own eyes.
This is one of my photos.
Oh, you got the balls.
The balls!
My dream is to see the balls.
Yeah, I really want to see them.
So why would a random Christian woman risk potential life imprisonment just to protest this base? Well, it turns out the story of Pine Gap is much more personal for Donna. She's been there on the ground when Pine Gap's missiles hit their targets. Now, some say the US directly killed about 1 million people in the War on Terror. Others say the figure's closer to 5 million. We don't know the exact figure, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Right? Like the joke is no one actually cares when an Arab on the other side of the world dies. But Donna and her friends discovered a little war crime hack to make people pay attention. You see, if white people travel to the Middle East and go to these civilian areas in Iraq and just hang out there, it makes it much, much harder for Western governments to bomb that exact location. This was called the Human Shield Program, and it was super effective, apart from the one day that Donna didn't arrive on time.
I went to a place called Ashwala Marketplace. There'd been a missile strike. And this had just been a civilian area. There were a few little market stores that had
See
opened
my
up for people to
girlfriend
rush in.
too. I'm gonna open Genshin Impact. Banger.
Get some food
Banger.
and supplies during the war. And this place was blown to pieces. And I saw a sight that was something I've never seen before, just the chaos. There were pieces of human flesh around on the ground and puddles of blood. And it was chilling, it was haunting. And I was saying, why here? Why our marketplace? Why my child? What could I say?
Yeah, you don't have an answer.
No answer. The coordinates for that missile came from Pine Gap.
Yeah, well.
Now, obviously, Donna was very motivated to get people talking about Pine Gap, and lucky for her, the police brought as much attention to it as possible. They dug up this 50-year-old law from the Cold War called the Defense Special Undertakings Act that had never been used before to claim that Donna was a national security threat and throw her in jail. Long story short, they were thrown in prison until the government realised how bad it looked to throw these cute Christians in jail on behalf of the Americans, when all they essentially did was trek through the outback in their own country. So they eventually reversed the decision and let them go. But the government learnt their lesson and responded by tightening Pine Gap security and rolling out new draconian security laws that gives them the power to detain anyone without charge.
So
Whoa.
It's going to be different now.
So it's going to be harder for us.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Now, because of this, no civilians have been brave enough to go in there after Donna. But we're not regular civilians, right? We're
True.
YouTubers. And
We're
YouTubers are on the front lines of content,
YouTubers.
right? We're there, boots on the ground, ready to film.
The fucking... I don't know if this is Jake or Logan, but what are the balls, bro?
Whenever a Japanese man commits suicide.
Bro, did we just find a dead person in a suicide forest?
We don't even flinch when the world calls upon us.
The woman not look like the Temu versions of Ian and Anthony from Smosh?
I don't freaking
To film
know.
ourselves making out with our own sisters. If anyone's brave enough to sneak into the world's most significant CIA base, it's us. Now, these
the
stories
hell?
of Pine Gap guiding missiles into Iraqi weddings may sound like old news, but don't worry, Pine Gap's still as busy as ever. Right now, while Israel is on a rampant campaign to flatten Gaza so they can have more room to film their thirst traps, Pine Gap is in charge of providing targeting and analysis for their missiles, making sure that they hit the right hospitals and refugee camps and churches. Because of Pine Gap, Australia is directly responsible
Brother.
for the death of 28,000 Palestinian civilians so far. And we're not even at war
Wait,
with
did that say... Hold
directly
on.
responsible for the death
When you finally get a kill after dying 3 times in a row...
of 28,000 Palestinian civilians so far.
Bruh.
And we're not even at war with Palestine. I mean, like, while that's like super illegal, it does kind of make sense, right? I mean, Pine Gap is, a big military base built on stolen indigenous land. It's only right for them to continue the proud tradition of wiping out indigenous populations across the world.
Yeah, man.
Now, in order to get to Pine Gap, we've got to fly to the middle of Australia to a town called Alice Springs. It's a popular tourist destination where you get to take your family. It's so whimsical. You've got indigenous people serving you champagne while you stroll through the desert. With all these fun activities, you wouldn't even know that the CIA tracks every single person who enters the town.
Security services of the U.S., Australia, and our allies would typically be alert to anyone who might be coming into the town.
So we figured now that we're on a plane flying to Alice Springs, the only way to not blow our cover in a town full of American spies is to blend in. We're not Aussie YouTubers, we're not collaborating with friendly Geordies to sneak into one of the world's most important CIA bases. No, we're just one of the
Suits
hundreds of
is
regular,
crazy.
everyday American spies in Alice Springs. Now, we definitely weren't expecting this in the middle of the outback, but there were American accents everywhere.
I think I might have spotted a few spies.
American
And Geordie
sounds?
didn't waste any time. He went straight in to investigate. Now, they may have pulled some fancy CIA mind tricks and managed to convince Geordie they weren't spies, but the rest of us weren't so easy to fool.
So conspiratorial.
They're Americans who live in Alice Springs.
I have a way with an American accent. He's a spy. He's different. Where did they say they work? The mines, dude.
At the mines.
Yeah, they're working on mine right.
Me when I moved from America to Australia so I could work at the mines.
Look, we just have to agree to disagree about these men we encountered at the airport. Or whatever, Geordie's probably got bigger problems to focus on, like the fact that his house got firebombed and he's receiving death threats from the mob because of his...
True, I forgot about that.
Either way, we obviously weren't going to make any big discoveries by speculating on random Americans we find in the airport.
Yeah,
Look,
this guy, Friendly Geordies, makes his own content on YouTube, which is much more like... This guy is politics related, but Friendly Geordies is way more politics related. So much so that the mob firebombed his house, but he was luckily not there when they did it.
lobby. So we decided to get
that
into the car
literally
and
happened to
drive through
him.
Arunda country to get to Alice
Because I
Springs.
think it was when he made a hit piece YouTube video about like casinos in Australia being basically run by the mob. Oh shit. Okay. It'd look better with a big Walmart right there. I think we should just like if we just got rid of all that and just put a Buc-ee's right there, I think that'd be good. If we could just do that.
What are the Americans doing out here?
In all honesty, we're a bit lost out here, so we thought the best first stop would be the Tourism Information Centre.
Are there any tours of Pine Gap?
Are there any viewing spots? Because I know Mount Gillen, you could see it.
No, you can't.
No, this is a very strong
When you fly, you drive onto that road.
I think TTS is broken. No.
Military guards out there with machine guns. So if you attempt to go into Pine Gap, you'll be quite.
We don't want to go in.
Polite, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You'll be politely asked to leave.
It's nothing
Politely asked to leave, right.
You have gardens there, you know, so.
It turns out getting into the base isn't as simple as we thought, and our spy disguises weren't working very well either.
Why have you got the same ties on? Yeah. Wearing suits, you stand out like.
They're not particularly comfortable.
If we want to sneak in successfully, we'll need to study the American spies in their natural habitat. And if you watch as many spy movies as we do, you'd know that the best place to find spies
Skibbity
is at the
Ohio.
casino. Luckily, there's a massive one just outside of town. This place is so American. Now, this casino was not at all what we expected. There was country music everywhere.
It didn't play the message I sent? I'm pretty sure it did because I think I responded to your message.
They had airlifted Texas and dropped it in the middle of Australia. Now, obviously, we did what we had to do to fit in. We had to gamble. You know, we didn't want to gamble, but we couldn't blow our cover either.
True,
And
true.
the
It
fact
had to
that we
gamble.
do this in every single video we film with Friendly Geordies is just coincidental, and you shouldn't look into it. So we're in the middle of nowhere, right? Most of the patrons in the Outback
Why did he do that? That is, dude, those play buttons have to be so disgusting.
casino are indigenous
I cannot
Australian.
believe he did
And
that.
No joke. Everyone else is literally an American who works at the big CIA base just out of town. It's insane. Now, we obviously came here as a joke, right? We didn't expect to actually see American spies, but there they were, just chilling, just hanging out after work, playing some weird American game called shit or poos or no,
It's
there was
called
craps.
craps.
It's called craps.
Yeah.
Living here. It seems a bit.
We've been here for like 6 hours, and yeah, I don't really.
Now, I really wasn't expecting them to be this open about working at Pine Gap.
What are you doing there? Top secret stuff.
It felt like they were all trying to impress us and outdo each other with how fancy their security clearance was.
First of all, don't listen to this guy. This guy doesn't get it. He doesn't know nothing. So he's just making it up.
But I have to say, for a foreign army operating a top secret CIA base in the middle of our country, they were kind of fun to hang out with.
And that's how you get them.
Look at this, I'm rich.
Get your money, bro.
I just want to know how this guy's doing the camera work, bro. Well, I wonder what secret camera bro is having right now.
Look, we had a fun time. It's a pity they'll probably hate us tomorrow night once they find out the guys they were gambling with the night before were going to sneak into their workplace the next morning.
Not to be ignorant, we don't know Australian behavior, but it's good to meet you.
Americans are fun. When you get us, you put a little bit of alcohol in us and you get us in a casino, bro. We're a fun time.
But before we went to bed,
Now, if you put us on the battlefield, we're no longer fun anymore.
realized we should probably try and get some legal advice before we try to sneak into one of the world's most important CIA bases. So we called our lawyer, Mark Davis.
Dude, I love this. Every time they do something crazy like this, they usually call their lawyer before they do it. I'm so sad he didn't call his lawyer before doing the boat thing.
Listen, you're doing me a bit of a tough sandwich here. I know fuck all about Pine Gap. I'm finding out quickly.
We realized we'd put him in a bit of a tough position, you know, speed reading niche esoteric CIA laws in the middle of the night.
Basic white guy with the most American accent ever. Yeah, I'm American.
Here's a little straw. There's lots of them. Let me have a look on the. Okay, we've got Security and Defence Premises Bill 2011. Certain members of the ADF can use reasonable and necessary force in the event there's an attack upon ADF premises. Establish a statutory regime of search and seizure powers. Oh my God. So they're essentially saying they could impose military law upon you if you get too cheeky here.
So we'll get 5 stars on my GTA. If we're not actually trespassing on the base, for example, one of them would be kicking a soccer ball over the fence.
Oh, yeah.
If we could get our soccer ball back.
I forgot that this was their plan.
Well, is that? What are we calling that? Let's have a look back how they worded that.
That's like a projectile.
Is that not a projectile?
Can they use reasonable and necessary force? That is, this is armed soldiers.
I forgot their plan was to literally throw a soccer ball into their backyard and be like, "Can I go get my soccer ball?"
An attack upon ADF premises. Do you think the soccer ball's an attack? It might be. I don't know. They've certainly got search and seizure powers. You've lost your soccer ball, fortunately. Under that power.
Well, that's the most important.
They're not taking it back. So you've lost your soccer ball, and they might kill you. Yes, but apart from that, you should be okay.
One of those is worse than the other.
Looks like the laws have changed quite a lot since Donna went in. This place has become much more dangerous for civilians.
No one has filmed inside the premises, like even the perimeter sort of premise of the premises, for a good 20 years. And when you think of where have you seen such footage?
Never.
Right, it's pretty hard to find it. This is a very secretive base now, particularly with the Americans there. Yet there's been almost no coverage of it, has there? Does anyone even try to cover it? Does it even exist anymore? It used to be, you know, at the centre of political debate. Now it barely passes for public comment. It's extraordinary, really.
What do they do?
Ring,
at
ring,
Pine?
ring.
Why are they so...
Hello? American food is the greatest food on the planet. Well, you'll have to try the Texas barbecue. It's the reason there's a thing called Big Back University.
Have you tried food from other countries before I comment on your comment?
It's coy about it.
You've gone there, you don't even fucking know. Are you kidding me? What are you clowns up to? What are you doing?
We're just trying to play soccer.
Yeah, we just want to play soccer in the desert.
To intercept electronic communications, phone calls.
So like this phone call right now.
Yeah.
We've got to cut him some slack here because, you know, we did put him in a tough position at the last minute, but at
Have
the
you
same time,
tried food from other countries, Aussie?
I literally went to Europe recently.
I feel like he was the most
And
sensible-
also, I haven't been to a lot of places and tried a lot of foods, and even I'm not gonna be the guy to say America has the best food, bro.
person to go to for a
I've
diet.
had dishes from other countries back when I was in high school. That's so vague.
Coming, and I think there's no option but to fucking fang the gate. Once that gate opens, you guys gotta go. You just gotta go.
Yours seems really cool. I had a fucking blast, bro. It was awesome. Dude, the lawyer saying gut it towards the facility is crazy.
See what they'll do. It'd be just fucking hilarious. I'd love it.
Well, we've gotten legal advice, I guess, but I'm not sure if talking to Mark was the best idea. I was much more chill about this before I realized they could, legally kill us if we entered.
What's a American food hot dog burger? That literally is about it. Hot dog, burger, barbecue, Burger King, McDonald's, steak. Can we even really claim that steak is our thing? Can we even fucking claim that? Brother, steak has been around for longer than probably America has. I don't think we can claim steak is our thing. Fried chicken? The thing is, I feel like if you looked up most of these foods, they probably aren't ours, you know?
Seems to be the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we knew that, right?
See if there's a recording.
I don't know if they could shoot.
You didn't know that.
They're not going to shoot us.
They might.
There's no way they'll shoot us. If they didn't shoot the people who actually got into the facility, why would they shoot?
That was 20 years ago. Who's kicking the soccer ball, though?
Not you. You got, look at these legs. You're the best kicker we got.
I don't know. I'm kind of freaking out a bit about this now.
But we've come all this way. It's too late to back out now. We just have to
the rest of the world.
focus
Exactly.
on trying to get some sleep. And at 5 a.m.
I would never in a million years claim that America has the best food until I have been to a lot of other countries and then go, okay, yeah, I guess I could say it has, out of all the countries I've ever tried, America has the best food or some shit like that. I would never claim that America has the best food, being that I have literally no experience of other countries.
It was showtime. We're going to get into this base. Now, we figured that Donna's main problem was that they snuck in over the mountains looking like
The
these,
burger was
peace-loving
invented in
hippie
Germany.
activists.
Don't even actually me legend freak, bro. Tell me which country you went to test out their food, bro.
But The thing is, no one's actually tried to just drive straight through the front gate pretending they work there. So we put on our suits and got ready for our first day of work at the top secret CIA base. Needless to say, everyone was stressing out, I mean, except Geordie for some reason.
Dude, I'm so like.
That's because he had his Faust firebomb not that long ago, bro. In comparison, this is rather chill.
I don't know why. Yeah.
I think you kind of just want to die.
Yeah, I'm kind of just cool with it. I'm just bored.
Driving through this sprawling, desolate Aussie desert, it's hard to imagine a giant American CIA base here. But apparently it's coming up after this turnoff. The only people driving down this road are spies.
I've never left America. You can't claim that America has the best food in the world if you've never been to other countries to test their food, bro. Come on, man. In that case, America has the best everything because there's nothing to compare it to.
I hate this. Oh, fuck.
Just do it.
Just do it. Okay, I think it's this right here.
We shouldn't be here.
No, we should.
They're gonna shoot us.
Give us a sign.
Wait, hold on. Pause. Wait, what do you mean? Wait, earlier you said you've had dishes from other countries back when you were in high school. Don't tell me you went to fucking, like, you're the type of guy that would go to Panda Express and be like, ah, yes, I've tried Chinese food. Like, what? You have to go to that country. People from other places claim America has the best food. Ursula's from a different country right now is just claiming her food is the best. That, like, this... What do you mean by everybody? Like, not everybody is on the same page about this, bro. People, what is your range when you say people? Like 4 guys said this? Did you ask 100 guys? 200 guys? 1 woman? Who knows? I'm not claiming my food is the best. But no. That's what I'm saying. Because back then there was a cooking class. You're still not going to that country. I don't care if you copy the recipe 1-to-1. It's very different when you go there and have it be cooked by, you know, the local food, you know? I do cook great pasta. W pasta. Not only that, but the ingredients that you can get in that country to make that food are very different than the ingredients you would get in its home country where the home recipe was made. It's never going to taste the same unless you go.
There's the sign.
Holy shit.
Oh, it just says no through road.
No, come on, you can see it's a through road. Look.
Yeah, this is the place.
What, that's their first deceptive decoy, is it?
I had Argentinian food outside of Argentina and it sucked. I mean, yeah, that's the thing is, the one thing that other countries do good on is
their Panda Express owned by a Chinese toast, so it is considered authentic Chinese.
It's just not. It's just not. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. You can. Oh my god, bro. Bro, it's over. It's all over bro. The moment you said that you got your opinion from Facebook, it's over, bro. What? You can't even argue that. You can't. You cannot say that you just got your opinion from Facebook. No. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. You can't.
What about Wikipedia?
Oh man. Do you guys never have like your own opinion about something? Like, are your guys' opinions always based on other people's opinions? You guys never go out and like find out the truth for yourself? I don't get it.
No, this can't be it.
Always? You know what? I respect that, Dragon.
I gotta say that, like, not a bad first defense. Start light.
Wait, is this the right street, Alex?
Yeah, this looks like it goes all the way to Pine Gap.
What did you click, like?
You can't click Pine Gap on Google Maps. You can't have directions. I can't believe this road ends with us going to work in the spy base.
You know what's going to be great though? The footage of you sweating bullets, pretending that you work there. And these are people that are trained to detect liars.
Yep, I work.
Yes, I am. I'm just your average rinky-dink American.
Hold on. Actually, while ads are going on, I'm going to be right back. I need water. I low-key need water. I'm going to be right back, chat. Give me uno momento, okay? Uno momento, chat. I'll be right back. We need a better song than this. Whatever. That works. Okay.
My only question now is what's wrong with Facebook? It's nothing like Twitter. Also ads are done for me.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. What's wrong with... Oh, there's nothing... Okay. I was about to say there's nothing wrong with Facebook. There's a little bit wrong with Facebook. But my main thing was you saying that you got your opinion off of social media. That's the thing. That's what I was trying to say before I got cut off by the ads. Why not get your opinion yourself? You know what I mean? Why does your opinion have to be created by somebody else, you know? Even if it's 100 people with the same opinion, why do you want to be grouped in with them? Why can't you figure out your own opinion? I mean, like, if 1,000 people said that it was a good idea to jump off a bridge, I ain't following them until I find out why, bro. Like, let's be honest here. If 1,000,000 people said it, I'm still not following them, bro. I still want to find out. You're making it seem like if a billion people said it was a good idea to jump off a bridge, you are no questions asked saying, "Yup, that seems about right," and then following off the bridge. But Facebook told me that if I jump off this bridge, I will gain superpowers. You know what I mean? And 1,000,000 people agreed with me. So therefore, this has to be correct. I think that's never gonna understand through actual people most of the time. Legend Freak. Are you at the age to where, like, you still have plenty of time to have experiences? Or are you a 60-year-old man that has arthritis and can't travel the world? Like, you got time, man. Like, you don't have... Why can't you just have the opinion of, like, okay, this is what people think, but I don't know for sure because I haven't really seen it myself. I mean, saying it's like, this is the truth, this is it, and it's like, why is that? And it's like, well, some guy on Facebook said so. And it's like, okay, great. First option. I don't even remember what the first option was. Of, like, you still have time to travel the world? I don't get it, because I never understand why some people are so, like, ready to accept an opinion from social media. I don't understand. Usually when I see, like, a overwhelming amount of people accept an opinion on social media, it just makes me want to research it or at least look up more information about it. Like, instantly agreeing with something when you haven't even had the chance to check about whether or not this is even true is crazy to me. You can always learn more through experiences than from social media. And especially just from one social media is kind of crazy on its own. Probably never go to places outside of America. Then I feel like you're not allowed to say America has the best food. You know what I mean? I feel like that immediately invalidates the opinion that when you say that. Like, sure, you can say that, but you got to understand that's just basically me saying I am the smartest person in the entire world. And you guys can't prove otherwise. I won't go out and do an IQ test and, you know, do a bunch of tests against other people to see if I truly am the smartest person in the world. But I am, okay? And you must believe this. I won't show you otherwise, though. Instead, I'd rather say I'm probably not the smartest person in the world. I know I'm not going to go test it, but at the very least, I am a little bit more humble about it. Traveled around to Latin America, different countries, and I promise you food everywhere is really different. Exactly. And here's the thing. There is a local chain restaurant from where I live called Skyline. And the thing is, I love Skyline, but that's because I grew up on it. Most people that did not grow up on this food will probably, most of the time, they actually don't like it. They actually taste it very differently. And that's because they just didn't grow up on it. There are things like biases when it comes to that stuff. Obviously, I think this food is going to be one of my favorites for like a long, long time. So it's obviously different when it comes to whether or not you were born there. You probably will think it's always the best. But I'm not going to go around saying that this is the best chain restaurant in the entire world. You're smart, I'm done. You're handsome, I'm not. Brother, you're missing the point. You're missing the point entirely. You're making it seem like I am saying that I hate you. And I absolutely hate you. And your opinion is wrong. You use Facebook. I'm just trying to keep you humble and trying to get you to understand that one man's opinion is not the best, especially if it's not your own opinion and not even your personal experience. The guy on the Facebook might not even have a personal experience. Maybe he's making this shit up too. You know what I mean? That's what I'm just trying to say, bro. I'm just trying to say, look at it your own way. Live your life on your, I mean, then again, if you want to live your life as a follower, that is completely up to you. You can have your own opinions be outsourced to other people. You can live that way, no problem. You know, it just usually ends up being that nobody would really respect your opinion because, well, why should I? Why should I? It's not based off of real experiences.
Going into work, Alexa.
Yeah, but yeah.
You are going to work. It's not even a lie. And you know what else as well? When they say, do you work here? You can say, yes. Technically, I work exactly where I am.
True.
As long as there's a camera on me, I'm working.
I can just say it's top secret.
I don't think that you can lie. I think it's impossible for you to lie.
The closer we got, the more the
Dude,
pressure was.
why isn't this guy driving, bro? I feel like Friendly Jordy is so locked in. He needs to be driving right now.
See, what I'm worried about is I'm really bad at driving automatic.
Yeah, it's in a car.
So what if I accidentally run them over?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ugh.
Jeez.
The fuck are you doing?
Wow, he does suck at automatic. He fucked up at automatic. The car's basically...
Ozzy, someday, you should prepare some complotos, Chilean hot dogs. Really easy and really good if you like avocado and tomato. I don't like tomato, but I've never had avocado.
Driving.
Have you reacted to any TF2's Meet the Team vids? Wait, are you talking about the vids from like 30 years ago, bro? Like 3 billion years ago? Those old videos?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, for real?
Just speed up.
No, he's overtaking.
Oh, okay.
We finally got to the first acknowledgement that Pine Gap actually...
I do like... Hold on, let me look up Chilean hot dog. I'm curious. I'm curious what a Chilean hot dog looks like. Or what's even on a Chilean hot dog. Oh, dude. The thing is, I've never... I don't really like tomatoes at all. And then I haven't really had avocado. But I'll tell you what, I love a hot dog. Look up for completos. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me... Oh, yeah, the same thing pops up. It's the exact same picture. What is the cream? What's that white cream they put on there? What's that big cream they put in there? What's that long line of cream? That shot of cream they put on there. What's that? What's that? What's that? Oh, it's mayo? That wouldn't be that bad. The only thing that I'd have to test out is whether or not I like avocado. I actually don't know. I've never had. But I probably would like just mayo. I wouldn't be that bad against it.
That it's actually here, and you'll be prosecuted if you go any further. So we obviously stopped here to take some YouTube thumbnail photos.
Chile is really good food. I've heard so much good things about Chile's food.
You more hyped?
Did you hear that?
What?
It sounded like bombs going off.
No.
Did you hear that? It sounded like gunshots or like... I think there is a firing range nearby as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, my sunburn is kicking in, bruh.
Guns. Yeah.
Oh shit, it is guns.
Firing range.
Now look, we don't want to go to jail, and this sign says no photography, so I'm sorry, but there's no video footage from this point onwards. But there's no sign saying you can't get someone on Fiverr to make an animation using the audio you recorded.
Oh my
and
God.
If there was a sign like that, we didn't see it, so I think we're in the clear to show you this.
This is it. Coming
Dude,
up.
I think it's so funny they found this animator on Fiverr and they've used him on almost every video since then, bro. They've just full on hired this guy.
They got the American flag. We're gonna get shot. Dude, I do not want to be in here. Can he come and meet us outside? Trespassing on this land is prohibited.
No, just go in and ask.
Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, hi, what's your name?
Alexa.
Alexa, and yeah. No, close the gate. Close it.
Oh, we can go in?
Oh, we got the in? Oh, no, stop.
Alright.
Okay, can I get to pull back, please?
Yep.
Dude, this guy's a legend.
Yeah, I think they like us.
In the disabled, come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've broken enough laws, man.
Yeah, turn off the car, please.
Ruh-roh.
It's a rental car. I've got no idea how to.
You got license in here?
Yep. I got it on my phone.
So what are you doing here today?
Just working.
So when you work at the base, you have something that you have to show me before you enter.
A magic trick? I've got.
A magic trick?
Don't have my ID. I need the internet connection to get it. This is.
Hard copy?
No.
Is your phone
I don't
recording?
know about. Sorry?
Is your phone recording?
He can't lie. Broa is incapable of lying.
Who are they?
I don't know who those guys are.
I need your IDs, guys. So if you have IDs, I can't let you leave.
Why aren't you going after the real criminals? What are those guys doing?
We don't. They're on our phones.
Can we come back with them?
Can we come back with ID?
You want to put one up your ass?
Huh?
Don't literally put it up your ass.
I will.
Dude, this is what I was talking about earlier, that he's literally put an SD card up his ass. This is actually what he did.
You can't let us leave if we don't have IDs. We can't go in with IDs. It's a catch-22. We're stuck
Yeah,
here.
we're stuck at one spot.
Hi there. Good. Let's try to get my ID up. All I have is the.
Guys with...
With.
Who are you with?
Who are we with? We're with these guys.
We work here.
Well, like in this. Currently, we're working.
Yeah.
You're working...
Dude, he just can't lie, bro.
Okay. You guys stay right there, thank you.
I think we're it. We're idiots. This is actually fucked. What just happened?
Yeah. Should I get out and ask him?
No. Leave the car. Maybe you can open the window and. Excuse me. Can I go home, please?
I'm scared.
Oh no, the gates are closing.
Wait, what? We're stuck?
Oh, look at that.
Wait, what are we meant to do? How come these guys get to leave?
We're gonna get shot.
We're fucked. Wait, I want to leave.
I feel, you know what this feels like? Like we're just committing suicide.
Yeah, I feel like we've done something really stupid. And we're all G'ing each other up to like make
No,
jokes.
let's just actually ask him.
We'll just
now.
be like,
Let's just say it was a bit. We're done.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, what do you want to do, Jordan?
Just keep arguing and lying.
Well, we've got to decide what we're actually saying. Are we going to keep talking about how we work here?
I think it's
Just say it one more time.
We say we actually just want to go home.
Yeah. No, say we work. Say we.
Yeah, we're off shift now.
You could ask him. They all look friendly.
Yeah, they're fun. But dude,
They're gonna be
this is
fans of
fun
your
for them.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this guy doesn't look like he's having this fun. This guy looks serious.
He looks upset.
Gentlemen,
Hi there.
Hello.
How you going?
it is an offence to video and take photos in here.
In here, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're taking photos in here,
No.
we can confiscate all that.
Okay.
Right?
Do not do that.
Now, a lot of time passed talking to this heavily armed man. So they had us locked in this facility, which was terrifying. But surprisingly, the more we chatted to this guy and answered his questions, the more he started to chill out. But he did make it abundantly clear that we'd go straight to prison if we ever came back.
What's your purpose here?
Just working
Working? Who do you work for?
for ourselves. We're YouTubers.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have your name though? I will.
Yeah. It's Alexa, and the channel's Boy Boy.
Oh, shout out.
Like subscribe. It's B-O-Y. B-O-Y.
Not judging at all.
Bro is not nervous at all when he starts shouting out the channel.
I watch a lot of YouTube stuff. Well, the base doesn't want you here.
Okay.
So you'll have to exit.
What goes on in here?
Well, they don't tell me that. I'm not important enough. So it's not an access to anyone that comes along. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you. He was casual.
Very nice.
If we do another thing, they're going to come back.
Yeah, I don't think we should get arrested over it.
Now, it was a pretty intriguing setup they had going. It seemed like the perimeter was staffed by Aussies doing security who had no idea what the Americans were doing inside the base. Nonetheless, they made it clear that we couldn't go back to the front gate without getting arrested. But then it occurred to me, what if we didn't go back at all? What if it was someone else? A completely different person.
No
completely
way.
different proportions.
The 3 guys in a trench coat. It works every time.
No, officer. You'd like to do a search and frisk, would you? Well, I'm going to have to see a warrant.
This is awful. I thought the trench coat was going to be longer and wider.
What, you thought?
It just doesn't look like
You thought this was going to be a visit to
I thought
I like it. You thought it was serious. Like,
a lot more than you did, dude. This was your plan A.
When I bought this, I asked the woman, is it long enough for 2 people? And she said yes.
You're like genuinely disappointed. This was a bit. He's actually disappointed.
Well, since our disguise doesn't work and we can't show our face at the main gate anymore, maybe we can try a different approach and get them to let us in using the power of sympathy. We're just innocent soccer players in the middle of nowhere trying to get our ball back.
I just don't know how. I don't know why they started to do this plan as the second plan, because you already met the guys at the front gate, so they know who you are. So why would you try the soccer ball bit after it?
But we quickly realized we were being followed. We weren't alone.
Someone did a shit.
Someone did a shit.
The CIA is trying to keep us out by making it smell really bad in here.
So after a bit of a trek on the opposite side of this 5-kilometer wide facility, we finally made it to the first outer perimeter of Pine Gap.
Oh fuck! Look at that.
What?
Actually, a fucking camera up on the thingo, that white thing.
Where? Oh shit. Fuck.
Do you reckon it's not an automatic turret with like a fucking...
No, it's just a big camera. Fuck, they're gonna come now.
No, that's cool.
At least with a camera here, they'll have proof that we're regular dudes just playing soccer.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
It's a really lame fence, I will
Who's
say.
getting that? I was passing it to you.
Maybe,
you get
maybe
it.
we can call them. Do they have is there a number for Pine Gap? We're legally allowed to go over just to get a soccer ball, right? That's
Legally?
the rule.
I think so.
A little help.
Can we get our ball back?
Wait,
at the very least, was that in or out? Go back to replay.
Yeah, they got VAR on that thing.
Yeah, come on. Can we get,
can you tell us if that was
VR?
in?
I mean, if they don't arrive soon and give us our ball back, I think it's actually a pretty lousy spy facility.
Bye, Legend
could've
Free,
been a
by the way.
Please don't say that. Please do not say that. No Pine Gap phone number. Can we just post on Twitter?
Oh yeah, post on Twitter. Let's
At
say,
CIA.
can we get our ball back, please?
Yeah, can we have special exemption?
Now, we thought we were being funny, but once we heard the security driving down the road, it dawned on us that we didn't have any footage backed up. And if we got arrested now, it'd all be confiscated.
They're definitely coming up.
Let's go.
Oh shit, they are coming
Wait,
up.
should we stop? Should we not be running away from them?
No, don't run.
So we ended up sprinting all the way back to our car. Now, needless to say, everyone was freaking out about our footage, so we had to have a serious conversation about how we're going to hide it if we get caught.
Well, do we have backups if this gets confiscated?
Yeah, Chris told me to put it in my ass.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
No, but if it's on your ass, it's bad though.
They're not going to look for it.
Yeah, no, but it's still on you. So
where should I put it?
Just put it in the car.
Did you put it in your ass?
He legitimately.
What
I thought you were joking.
What do you mean I'm joking? Oh, the CIA is going to search us. I'm going to pretend to put it in my
But isn't the first place they search your ass?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Brother.
He
actually did it.
No! Fuck off.
Whose SD card was this? Was it one of yours?
Probably.
I think you can have
Yeah,
it.
it smells like it's mine, you know? Smells like it might be my property right now. Isn't that what dogs do?
It's like no one told you to put it in your ass. You just did it.
What?
Yeah.
Well, where would you put it? Where would you put it? Hide this SD card.
No one said hide it. We just turned around and you just stole one and just went.
Last time I tried to keep our project safe. Now my fingers smell. Oh.
It's the second time we were scared away by security, but we weren't ready to give up yet. Now, we know Pine Gap is surrounded on both sides by these mountain ranges, so we decided to follow
Ozzy
Tommy's
is amazing. So somebody watched Project Hail Mary. I have tip.
Some mountains.
Yeah, look how close we are to Pine Gap. If we go up on this ridge here, we're going to be like
in prison.
200 meters from the big balls.
The big balls.
Imagine if we saw the balls.
Yeah, I don't want to see the balls.
So we set out for a day of trekking through hills in the outback.
If I see the balls, I'm going to feel like I've committed a crime.
Yeah. I've never climbed a mountain in a suit.
Well, we got to be inconspicuous, you know? If they see us up there, they'll be like, oh, carry on, fellow spies.
And does anyone have snake bandages? No.
No, we got nothing. This is actually horrible.
Oh, well, I don't like that. Are there snakes?
Yeah.
Of course there's snakes out here.
There'll be snakes, and then how do we fucking...
Again, a week and a half ago. I also watched it when it first came out. It's a banger. Absolute banger of a movie.
That's a snake bandage.
Now, this turned out to be a very deceptive trek. Every time we got to the top of a ridge, there was another plateau and an even bigger ridge behind it. The horizon just kept moving away from us.
Another ridge?
There's another ridge, yeah. Do we want to go one more, or?
Do you reckon that could be the last one?
I don't know. Let's look on Google Maps. After the next ridge, there's a road which looks like it's a gate. This is Pine Gap.
This is a bit fun.
We are right here.
In the middle of the day, we're like 100 meters away from there.
No, it's a couple of kilometers, I think. I want to see the balls in real life, a little bit. But I know that if I see them, then someone might be looking at me as well.
I just don't want to get arrested. I feel like I'd rather get arrested.
That's gunshots. You hear it? And we find a firing
We go
range.
towards the gunshots, or we just go back home, have a nice meal, do a video comparing McDonald's and Red Rooster or something. You know?
We decided to continue towards the base, but we were
Good idea.
Inexplicably slower.
It's a lot further than it looks.
Yeah, I think we got a good like hour till we get up there.
Yeah. It's not an hour.
Isn't it amazing that our fear subsided and our laziness kicked in?
I'm still scared.
You're saying we have to go to that one?
The horizon.
How are you feeling?
I mean, it's your call. We came all this way, but it's also easier not to. But you know,
It's one of those things. If we get arrested, what happens to the rest of our footage and all our other shit?
True.
It's in your ass.
It's not anymore. You guys won't let me put it in there anymore. But she was saying they were hiding from the front. That's a gunshot. It's such horrible timing. I hate this.
Yeah, they're not shooting at intruders. They're just practicing their aim.
For when intruders come.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. If there's a firing range and you come on the back of it, you just get fucking murdered.
I hadn't heard the gunshots until now, and they're very clear.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, we can call it.
That's gunshots again.
But I just don't think we should be walking that way.
What, towards
Whenever
the
I've heard a
gunshots?
gunshot, I've always thought, go the other way.
That's
They sound
so
like they're
clear in the
there.
video.
We're walking.
Yeah, I don't think they're going up the mountain.
Yeah, guns don't have such a big range. Yeah, we'll go that way. They won't get us. We're just peer pressuring each other because we get nothing from being up there.
They're so loud. It doesn't sound like a normal gun as well. It sounds like machine gun. Yeah,
The funny part is knowing how expensive it is to shoot a machine gun for that often for that long, bro.
Yeah, that's scary.
As if they need that much practice.
Because
When was the last time someone tried to get in? 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm chilling, Hip
Since
Dip.
we
Thank
didn't
you
want
for
to get
asking.
shot by surprising a bunch of armed American soldiers in the outback, we decided to head back. Now,
Unfortunate.
needless to say, I felt a bit silly. We came all this way and didn't really do much. We just showed up at the base and walked around it all day. Honestly, I was worried that we'd wasted a video here and that we didn't really do anything. But the next morning, we realized we'd actually done a lot more than we thought.
Uh-oh.
So we woke up the next morning. It was our last day in Alice Springs, and I had an interview booked. We were meant to be interviewing an Indigenous elder to tell us about, the significance of the land that was stolen from them. But out of nowhere, while we're getting ready, I got this call from the police.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Yeah, you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, hey, just need to speak to you in regards to an incident that took place out of Pine Gap yesterday. You still in Alice Springs?
Yep.
You're available to come into the police station and have a chat?
No, I've got to fly back to Sydney.
Where do you fly, mate?
Hello?
He hung up.
You don't need to talk to him that much.
I choked. I obviously had no idea how to handle that call, but it was too late. The goddamn police were chasing us. They could rock up at any moment. It was now a race against the clock. We had to pack up the Airbnb and get on that
I love that
plane
we
out of
still decided to fill the dishwasher anyway, just in case.
At this
Just to
point,
be
we
nice.
started losing our cool.
Yeah, let's just pack up and go.
You'll call the airport.
But we quickly realized, if the police do catch us, we'll definitely have our footage confiscated and wiped. So we started the 2-hour-long process of backing it all up online, which gave us a bit of time to just kick back, relax, and blame each other for the horrible predicament we're in.
Yeah.
Classic.
I don't really like it. I don't know.
I like it because they called you.
Oh yeah, I'm
the
chilling.
ringleader
How
here,
are
I'm just
you,
the
Hip
one who
Tip?
booked the rental car.
This is your channel, Alexa.
I'm just the one who booked the rental car.
We're all here because of you.
I'm just the one who booked the rental car.
All here because of you.
I drove the car too. I mean, they've probably already got all the videos. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's it. If Pine Gap
Yeah,
is
prove
as good as it is, then they would have our footage already.
Yeah, prove it, boys.
True.
I've hidden an Easter egg in all of our videos.
If you're really the CIA and not just some hucksters trying to take us for fools, you'll know what we did at exactly 9:32 a.m.
Now, the one upside was that we had enough time to practice some cool lines to deliver to the cops when they catch us.
We should do this bit when we're arrested. Fools, fools, fools. Right where I want to be.
The classic.
Whilst you guys are busy here at the airport, Pine Gap is left woefully. I have people sneaking.
Wait, they're gonna get this footage. It's gonna sound so much worse.
No, it's a joke.
And while our footage is uploading, we've also got enough time to tell you to join our Patreon. So, in all seriousness, we're being hunted by the federal police.
Skip.
Attempt to Q&A after every video. It's all running away from the cops. Okay, with our footage finally...
Dude, I would if I ever got arrested, bro. That's something I would do, bro. I would do the same thing. This is exactly what according to my plans.
We were ready to head to the airport in a last-ditch attempt to get out of Alice Springs.
It's fun. You're ready to get arrested, Alexa?
I don't know. They just want to talk.
Yeah.
But
about what? We didn't do anything wrong.
yeah, I don't know.
You're watching officers. We didn't do anything wrong.
We did nothing wrong. I think the CIA is not very nice.
No. The CIA's lovely. I love the CIA.
Oh, yeah.
I like the CIA. I like the AFP. I like the Northern Territory Police. I think they're all great.
Lovely institutions.
And I think they're very good looking.
Wow.
The cops.
And we made it to the airport. And
The glazing
so far,
worked?
No police officers waiting for us. But we kept watching our backs. We just needed to get on that plane before they showed up, which started feeling harder and harder since the flight kept getting delayed.
Oh.
At this point, we started thinking the police stalled the flight until they could come and arrest us. But after another anxiety-riddled half an hour, we found ourselves on the tarmac, coming up the stairs and so close to getting back home. And it happened. The plane took off. We did it. I don't think I've ever been happier to be on a plane. We thought we were home free, but, as you're aware, the federal police had a different idea.
Apollo Nova, did your planes come off? Jordan Shanks and Aliska Voluko.
Name drops of all of them.
If you are on board, just make your way forward to the front of the cabin.
Now, we've never spoken to federal police before, and we don't know much about what you're meant to do when talking to cops, but the one thing we do know is that you don't talk to cops.
Anything that you say or do will be recorded and may later be used in evidence. You okay? Yeah.
So this federal agent turned on his little recording device and, trying to get a statement from us that he could use against us in court. And we just did that thing they do in the movies where they keep saying, like, am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? And then, like, when it turned out we weren't under arrest, we just got the hell out of there.
I think we can leave then now. Yeah, we're free to leave? You're free to leave. I did want to have a quick conversation with you.
Dude, you're free to leave, but can I still have a conversation? Brother, what do you think's gonna happen?
Thanks for that.
Dude, the fact that they have the power to pull somebody off of a plane and call their names, but yet they're not under arrest is crazy.
If I talk, you don't have to say anything. Yeah. I'll just let you know.
I think
we're free to leave. There's an incident up there, but you don't have to answer me.
So we made it back home, but I don't really know what's going to happen now. We've been talking to our lawyer non-stop. I'm just awake. Like, I'm laying awake at night and we're just thinking the feds are going to raid the house at any minute. It's honestly the most uneasy I've ever been in my life. And all of this for just trekking through the outback in our own country. Like, look, we get a bit of criticism on our channel. While the vast majority of our fans are Americans who like our videos, there's a very small group of upset American viewers who don't like what we're saying. And instead of trying to point out our mistakes, they just say that we're obsessed with America. They say we should stay out of it and focus more on our own country. But what no one understands is that this is America, right? I wish it wasn't, but it is, right? We don't have a choice. The Americans just run things here. Like, we can't vote on it. Our politicians won't even talk about it. American politicians can talk about it, though. Their congressmen are constantly invited to visit Pine Gap, but our elected officials can't go anywhere near it, even though it's meant to be our country. It's such a bizarre and pathetic relationship, and they don't pull this kind of shit with anyone else. Like Canada and Mexico are their neighbors, right? And when America starts telling them what to do or ask them to come along and blow up some random farmers in the Middle East, they tell them to fuck off. But their little Aussie lapdogs on the complete other side of the world have always done exactly what they tell us to do. And if you turn on the news in Australia, every single channel will tell you that we actually need the Americans here to defend us from China. China, our biggest trading partner, a country that not only has zero interest in invading us, but they haven't invaded anyone for the past 50 years. Like, we're meant to be scared of them, right? But meanwhile, the Americans invaded us a long time ago. Like, our country is littered with American soldiers, and if any of our politicians even questions it, they just get rid of him. And if any civilians happen to stumble upon the perimeter of a US base, literally walking through our own country, our federal police will chase us down on behalf of a foreign occupying army. We're from America, right? We're just a giant US military base just floating in Asia. And if the Americans decide they want to go to war with China, then our beautiful island home is going to be on the front lines. No one ever gave us a say in it.
I'm surprised this guy hasn't been arrested. I'll be 100%. The fact that they haven't been able to arrest him is kind of incredible. Funniest thing is that I'm sure the Pine Gap employees will have to get official briefs this week warning them about not talking about their work at the casino because of the specific video. That's fair. That's fair. You appreciate that despite feeling like the cops are after them, they still cleaned the Airbnb. Bro, that's what I was just saying. They still filled the fucking dishwasher. My nan was a cleaner at Pine Gap. It was only years later I realized everyone who worked at Pine Gap was a cleaner. Oh. She's lying. The woman of the information has told us everyone was a gardener. Yikes. You know it's uncharted territory. 3 guys in the suit in the middle of the outback catching kicking around a ball while peeking up at every spy cam. Completely inconspicuous. Glad you approve of my patented infiltration technique. Oh, absolute peak. Chat, I am dead. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm slowing down. I'm literally slowing down because it is almost 1 in the morning. I need to go to bed. It's so much louder than the video was. I need to go to bed, chat. Which means I'm going to send you guys somewhere. Who's live right now? Who is live? Who is live? Who is live? Oh my god. Fucking nobody is live. That is such a small list. Fuck, dude. Onyx is live, though. We haven't rated Onyx in a hot minute. We haven't rated Onyx in a hot minute. We could rate Onyx. Let's go say hi to Onyx, chat. Let's go say hi. She's doing more FF14. I have a suggestion. I would rather raid my friend right now. I apologize. I'm gonna raid my friend. Hold on. I'm gonna quickly get out of here because I just cannot. I'm so tired, bro. Chat, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out for my small amount of time that I was here. I will see you guys later today. I guess it would be today for me right now. Hold on. Let me switch. I just set up the ending screen. All right, chat. Thank you so much for coming here. Hold on. Make sure you guys are checking out the socials if you haven't already, and make sure you're in the Discord, dude. Low key, I'm just gonna fucking get out of here. Bye, chat. Bye, bye.